everybody. It's me, your girl Joey, here for your pre-show. Guess what? The boys aren't here yet. Do you have a card in there already too?
I do.
Oh, look at you. I'm so proud. Barrett is also here. We are the Left Behinds, is what I'm lovingly calling us right now. Everybody, it's me, your girl Joey,
we're
getting some
here for your pre-show.
You have the preview window open? You're going to get an echo. Calm down.
I do.
Oh, look at you. I'm so proud. Barrett is also here. I'm just we are the... There you go.
There we go.
That was fun, guys.
It's okay. Everything's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Stuff like this happens all the time. Yeah, and then bring the
chat go.
I don't know. You got rid of it. You killed it. Pop it out. Thanks. So yeah. No, their flight did not get delayed, but they're coming. I got a Slack because we actually do use it. We just don't use it for ads. From one Greg Miller that said that they're inbound.
Gotcha.
And that was at, I don't know, now it's loading. I opened it onto a KFAF. So we have a Slack channel for KFAF ideas. Did you read the KFAF ideas, what they want to do?
I don't know if I'm cool enough to be part of that Slack channel.
Oh, anybody can be in the Slack channel. About one of the ideas that they have. And oh boy, man, I hope that they do it for this week because it's very funny. But if not, then we'll just have to know that there was a really funny idea that they never did. Yeah,
so the boys are inbound.
Yeah. As of 7:59 a.m. they're inbound, which means they should be here. I mean, probably in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe not.
So they'll probably be here in 15, I would say. Realistically from the airport.
But I don't think they texted me right as
they're leaving.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we're the ones who stayed behind this weekend.
Yeah. So with you're never gonna get all of it. I guess we can pull back the curtain a little bit. You're never gonna get all of us on these tours.
Right.
Because someone has to be here to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
And run like
make sure like everything is like kind of working at the studio and stuff. So
in case there's anything kind of emergency, like you had to receive a bunch of packages for us this weekend because I didn't want to send them to the office.
Exactly.
So fun stuff like that. But at some point you'll get rotations of all of us on these tours. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we're announcing. No, I think we might announce it on Wednesday.
Gotcha. Exciting things for Wednesday. Twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, 10 a.m.
to 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Pacific time.
Games Daily and KFF count in those 10 hours because we can only do what we can do, folks. We can't do. So people are asking, why are you guys doing it then? We couldn't have done it the stream this past weekend because the boys were going to Arizona. Yep. Today, Greg and Tim gonna go do cool things.
They're gonna go do cool stuff. Yeah.
2 separate things that you will hear about later. Tomorrow is like a normal day. Wednesday, getting close to the end of the month. One of the only days we could do it.
Yeah, and we didn't want to do it the last day of January.
Yeah, because if you do it on January 31st, then if anybody pledges or ups their pledge, then it gets renewed on
then you get immediately
the next
charged.
Day, and that seems kind of crappy.
So yeah, we wanted to give a window for people to bring down their pledges for February.
Yeah,
whatever they need to do for their financial situations.
Do I submit both haikus at the same time in the same post?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, you can do that, or
Tim
if you want to do 2
separate
ones,
or which.
Doesn't matter.
But we were the ones who stayed behind. How was your weekend?
It was good. I wasn't even here.
Oh yeah, you went to Sacramento?
Yeah, I went to go see my parents as part of like my Christmas birthday present. My mom got me tickets to go see a Carole King thing, which is like one of my favorite musical artists.
Ooh.
And I went and saw Jersey Boys again, which shows that I was definitely born in the wrong decade because I was the youngest person at both of these shows by far. Like 100% the youngest person there.
Oh, man.
So yeah, so I did that on Friday. Yeah, I left here like right after the shows finished.
Right.
On Friday.
I mean, you left here before the shows were done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you guys recorded a Internet Explorers.
Yeah, we did. So you helped out with doing Games Daily stuff.
Yeah, I did Games Daily for the first time ever in my life. It was fun. I like it.
Don't tell the boys that because then they'll make you fucking edit it.
That was the thing is Nick came in and he saw me sitting at your desk with like headphones on and Premiere open. He was like, this is how they get you. You just start doing one thing and then you keep doing it.
Yeah. But yeah, after you had left, I had to essentially do my job, Cool Greg's job, and kind of your job of making sure that like stuff for Internet Explorers today was set to go for Patreon, and like then the same for screencasts and all that stuff. So yesterday or Friday was
Cool Greg does a lot of stuff.
He does.
Yeah, I just like double check all of it, but
shout out to fucking Cool Greg.
I should have given you his checklist.
Who's also not here today. So we gotta,
so then we have to do Cool Greg.
So Kevin is doing Cool Greg's job today, and I'll be doing Kevin's job. So are those the boys?
Maybe not.
No, false alarm. Yeah,
maybe it's the ghost that turned on your computer before we got here.
I swear I turned my computer off over the weekend, and then when we were walking down the street, I can see like the window with my computer in it, and it was on. I was like, who did this? But I'm sure it might have just been the cleaning lady, but it could have been a ghost. Who knows? All right, chat.
Depunked, you said, where do I submit my fun clips? If you go to kindafunny.com/Patreon, is that what we changed it to?
Kindafunny.com/Patreon. Do it all lowercase. I've noticed that there's some weirdness if you like upper cap with Patreon. I
can change it, yeah.
So kindafunny.com/Patreon. You can submit.
You can select what level you are on what Patreon. Yep. Let me know how you like that. This is something that we've like low key started to roll out, but we haven't really talked about publicly. Yeah. Because I want to make sure that people like it and it makes sense before we start promoting it.
Yeah, we're trying to like do. I've tweeted out the link a couple of times. We're trying to figure out like a simple way for people to funnel all of their submissions in for all of the shows. So I think it looks like a pretty cool, like, neat way to do it.
I think it is too. It's something that I stole. One of my friends. So it's like kindafunny.com is Patreon is a redirect to like this link tree thing that I found from one of my friends on Instagram. So you know how Instagram you can only have one link in your profile? I guess this is like technically a workaround for that, but I'm also using it as a workaround for our stuff. Where do I sign for art for KFAF?
You use the hashtag KFAF on Twitter. Do not tag Nick Scarpino or Andy Cortez because they don't want to be spoiled by the surprises of the submission. So just use the hashtag KFAF. If you want to tag Kinda Funny Vids, that's okay. And I'm the one who goes in every Monday essentially through that hashtag and find the ones that stand out to me, and those will be the ones that we show on the episodes.
It's very exciting.
I had a good weekend. I had a chill weekend.
You had a super chill weekend?
Yeah, my girlfriend's sick.
Saw some of your tweets.
Watched a lot of Fast and Furious this weekend.
Which is like honestly the dream way to spend a weekend.
I mean, okay, so to give also pull back the curtains a little bit, we're also we're pre-recording Fast 4 in review this week.
Yeah.
Just because people are going to be shifting in and out of the office throughout the next week and a half, or next week. So we're doing Tokyo Drift live as normal, and then we're pre-recording Fast 4 after that. So I had to watch Tokyo Drift, and for the extra credit of Tokyo Drift is Better Luck Tomorrow, which I had seen before. I watched that back in high school, and was way more intense.
Only once.
Way more intense than I remember it being.
Yeah.
And
it's not good.
The reason that's no, it's really good.
Maybe I'm getting.
I mean, I really
my feelings for that and Los Bandoleros are getting crossed.
I really like it. It was like a Sundance movie. It was like one of Justin Lin's first movie. It's definitely like. He was definitely younger when he directed that, and I still really like it, even though it does get really fucked up. And so the reason that's extra credit is because Justin Lin, who directs Tokyo Drift, Fast 4, Fast 5, and Fast 6, directed Better Luck Tomorrow as one of his first movies. One of the characters in that movie is Han, who goes on to be in Tokyo Drift and so on and so forth. So there's that, and then I watched Los Bandoleros, which. Man, I wish I could get those 20 minutes back. What the fuck, man? Like, that was just 20 minutes of like, yo, Dom's been in the Dominican Republic since Fast 1. That's it. I didn't need 20 minutes of just that.
You always need more Fast and Furious.
And then I watched Fast 4, and not as bad as I think you guys make it out to be, but I don't think it's as interesting as the other ones.
It's not. And I don't know if I want to go into this.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil the in review episodes.
It's just not compared to the other ones. Its placement on the ranking is very clear.
I have it right above.
Even if it doesn't necessarily deserve that.
Yeah, I have it right above Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And it's really just because I like Too Fast, Too Furious. The only reason it's below is because Dom is not in it, and I love the dynamic between Brian and Dom so far. And just because I got more of that in this one, I was like, all right, like I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Even though I do really like Too Fast, Too Furious. Smack that ass. But yeah, just chilled in bed all weekend. Played a lot of Legend of Zelda.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Tokyo Drift is number 3. They just didn't. I like that they went away from that for the naming convention.
Yeah.
They really nailed it with Too Fast, Too Furious. And you're like, you know what? We're just gonna throw you a curveball.
We got to bring it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Chat, how are you guys doing this morning?
I know. What
was your weekend like?
So Joey, will you be on the review for 3 and 4? I'm not on it, which honestly I have a grievance to pick with Tim Gettys because it's a travesty that I'm not on this interview. We can go beat him up. We should. I should just not let Tim in here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll change the locks.
This is like one of the few of the ones that I've expressed interest in doing. It's this one. I would like to do this one and Harry Potter. I'm not on. Well,
Harry Potter would be cool.
Harry Potter's so cool.
If they end up doing Harry Potter, I think
it's inevitable.
I would want to get my 2 cents in there. You know?
I have a lot of opinions about Harry Potter. First of all, half of these jabronis have never read the books.
I know. It fucking drives me insane. I'm just gonna go check see if the back end is still doing okay.
Okay, well I'll be in here. Watched Polar on Netflix. Not bad. Is that the one with Mads Mikkelsen?
Yes.
My dad was talking. I was talking with my dad about Mads Mikkelsen this weekend, and I was trying to explain to him. Are they here?
Yeah, they're here.
Oh my gosh, doggy dog. Sup? I was talking with my dad about Mads Mikkelsen this weekend and trying to.
Did you guys watch that new thing he's in?
Polar or whatever.
People here.
Show your muscles.
What?
Show your muscles, Barrett.
You coming right on?
All right, well, I'm gonna check out since all the people are here. Andy seems really in a great mood right now. Looking great in this like light orange sweater. What's up, dude?
Right? Like, why would I have needed a sweater on this trip?
Did you have to buy that?
Let's talk about it.
All right. Well, anyway, half these people haven't read Harry Potter, and it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This whole
I'm saying half.
pre-show.
I'm not saying you.
You mean the fucking
Preaching like why you're well learned and shit.
No, we were just talking about our weekends.
Ooh, read a book,
Can you take
nerd.
this with you?
What's this?
This is my trash. Yeah. How's that pumpkin loaf?
Oh, it's so good.
Fucking so good.
Go-to.
That used to be my guilty pleasure after I'd bomb at Mike's.
You'd
I would be
go
like, I'm just gonna get a pumpkin loaf.
yeah.
Or like actually, I would do. I'm sorry, I misspoke. My guilty pleasure would be goldfish. But to get me out to the mic, I would be like, I'm gonna treat myself to a pumpkin loaf.
Just to get you outside,
Just
and then
to
you're
get-
like, I'm already there.
It's like this technique I use when I don't want to do something, but I really do want to do it. Like I want to have done it already, but
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm like, what is something I can do right beforehand that's super exciting? That's like totally
That'll get you jazzed
easy.
to get you
And
out of the
like,
house.
A big cup of coffee, like a nice ice cold cup of coffee, and a pumpkin loaf. And like I was into it. There was a point where like they're like, "Oh, I'll get that for you, sir." And if they reached into the case, I was like, "No, no, no. I need you to get the fresh one." And they're like, "Sir, these are fresh." Like I multiple times, the Starbucks attendee would be like, "These are fresh." I'm like, "No, they're not, because they're exposed to the air, which means they're a little bit dry on the outside. I need you to go get the ones that are in the individually wrapped plastic that are in the back or underneath the thing." And they'd get it for me, and they'd be so they'd be so moist, so moist.
Nick, I don't like it when you say moist.
No, I don't.
Not a
either.
fan.
I don't like pumpkin.
What?
I know.
You know, there's just things that can't be rectified. We're not friends anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
No, I understand that. I respect that. I love pumpkin. I like the pumpkin loaf. But I feel like I love it maybe because it's not available all the time everywhere, you know.
Really?
It's not oversaturated like cinnamon.
Do they take it off the menu at one point?
No, they always Starbucks always has the pumpkin loaf that I know of.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying other places like you don't really see a lot of pumpkin pie,
Right.
all that jazz, all that
Jiggity jazz.
How are y'all feeling after taking a flight?
That was early.
Yeah.
I'm
What
tired,
time
guys.
did the flight take off? I'm guessing like 5:45 or something like that.
6:20, but it's an hour. We're an hour ahead in Arizona, so 5:20.
Gotcha.
Here we are.
It was. Guess what
Yeah,
time we went
we
to
are.
bed last night?
4:20.
Pretty much.
4:20. No, yeah, a little less.
I'm gonna guess. My guess is gonna be 3 in the morning.
No, it was like 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was late.
1:30.
It wasn't like.
1.
I'm very
Panzer GS
excited.
says, "Why is Tim limping?" didn't know I was. It's unfortunate.
Tim's
big
body
side of me.
Tim's body is operating on like emergency power only right
honestly, I'm at that point when you're driving your car and you're just like,
Yeah.
I should have got gas on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
and I'm
now.
still
All
going.
non-essential functions are shutting down, so
Yeah.
he doesn't need it. He
I heard
doesn't
you're
need
li-
one leg. He's got two.
You're limping because you tried running last night with Gia in the women's rumble.
What did you just say?
I don't know any words.
I thought Andy was having a
Yeah, I thought I was like, oh, fuck, did Andy's tongue just stop working?
Andy, why did you put in a Pez before you?
No, it's the Tums.
Okay.
The Tums. My tummy ache, man.
I love the hoodie,
You gotta
though.
poop.
It's a very, like,
Dude, he's nailing this color right now.
no, you
It's a
are,
good
man.
color.
I mean, it was all Nick, man. Nick made a great recommendation. We saw a bunch of really shitty looking hoodies at Walmart, and I was like, God, these are hideous. I'm just gonna go with the gray. I got the gray, and I walked back, and I was like, I don't know. Nick was like, you should get the pink one, dude. I was like, the salmon one's pretty nice too, or get like the fucking shit green one.
I wanted you to get the. I've washed this 400 times lime one. Like it used to be green, but now it's just. It's
like
Yeah.
all
you know.
Kevin's
That's how they
clothes.
all
Super
look.
dingy.
But you looked and you were like, I want the coral one, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I love the word coral because it makes me think of coral. Coral.
From Walking Dead.
Oh, it makes me think of Coral from Real World.
It makes me think of Coral from
Oh,
Who
she's
was
dope.
with the Miz?
Oh
was the whole
yeah,
Miz,
wow.
a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. He's a big dude.
Was he there?
Yeah.
He's
He
gigantic.
He
wrestled
won the
last
tag
night.
team championship.
I'm very behind on my news.
With Shane
I only got
McMahon.
pictures of Finn Balor.
Oh my God, Joe! Can we talk about this guy's body for a second?
Fucking let
Holy
me talk.
fuck.
Jesus, Joe, you're gonna have to fight me for him. Jesus,
They kept lifting him up and pointing his ass at me, and I was like,
that's a sexy ass dude.
I'm feeling
man.
my feelings.
Beautiful face, gorgeous body.
Yeah,
he's
man.
he's foreign
I'm in the
too.
room.
He has a great theme song.
Ads.
Got it.
Patreon producers.
You got it. That's why the compute's here.
Compute.
What time did you guys get back to SF? Just right now.
We
Literally
drove
just
in.
now.
We stopped by Starbucks and then came.
That's
right
why
to you
Joey and I
guys.
started the pre-show for y'all.
Pre-show. Are you ready to roll in the real
Lexi
thing?
Gunner says Coral was the homie. She was the homie. I remember a scene in not Paradise. What's it called? The Challenge, Real World Challenge, where she got mad at someone else. I think it was Puck, and she's just like,
It's always Puck.
he came out with a machete. That's right, a machete. And then it just the camera cuts, and it's just him running around with the machete.
Always Puck, dude.
It was always you, Puck.
Did you ever think that Puck was just playing it up for the cameras?
Yes.
Yes.
You
No,
know?
he's a psychopath.
Like he knew he was going to just be the guy that was his role.
Especially when you get the challenge. They're all playing it for the cameras at that point.
But that's all they have.
The challenge was so good, though. Man. It was so good.
But that's when like you had personalities on both sides. Like Real World and Road Rules had their own like their big names.
Yeah.
And then
No one cared about Road Rules.
What? Oh, you're kidding me. I loved them both.
You put up with it.
Nah.
It's like Bachelor.
only-
Bachelorette.
My
My favorite
love them
Road
both.
Rules episode was always when they'd cross over with the Real World. When they'd go pull a prank on the Real World.
Exactly.
Here's my only.
That's like Avengers.
Here's the only reason that Road Rules needed to exist was for the challenge, for the crossover, for the
Yes,
gauntlet.
definitely.
That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I literally was like, "There's another show?
Yeah.
They do another show?
Well, you said
love
you,
them.
Unnecessary.
You sound stupid because, of course, the Mark and Kit love story from season 1 is one we all followed with bated breath to understand. And then the Real World just kind of, fucking evolved into Road Rules. Kind of, they all got challenging and they all got weird. You know what I mean?
What series was Blair on?
Blair was on Road Rules.
Road Rules. the
What season? Season 1?
No,
Right?
no.
Really?
He was. I don't. I would say maybe 3.
Joey, my brother likes that guy too, Johnny Bananas. I always see my brother tweeting randomly at him like, "Oh, good episode."
That's such a weird. It's such a weird thing to me when I was growing up because I would have never thought to try to get on one of those shows.
Here you are.
And now I'm living that life.
Yeah.
Except I don't really have to go anywhere.
Do any challenging
That's
things.
not true, actually. Everything we did for the last 2 days was very challenging to me,
It was very challenging.
including getting in the arena, getting food, and getting to our seats. That was the
Save
hardest
it.
part of
We're
everything.
starting.
Start the show, doggy dog.
Well, I'm trying to figure this out for you. I think it might. You know how it's a cursatory look here. Blair might have been on season 10 of Road Rules.
No
Whoa, what the
shit.
hell?
So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was. That's where he got to start.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's very weird.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your best friends, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Denim on Denim, Nick Scarpino.
I proved to myself I can do it.
What?
Denim on denim.
Oh yeah,
OG
I'm glad you
baby.
did.
If I ever do a comedy special, I'm just calling it denim on denim.
That's good.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You don't put it out there, then the fucking Dane Cook's gonna see
Fuck Dane.
Carlos
Dane Cook's
Mencina.
over. He's over.
Is
He's
he
cooked.
gonna steal
Is he
your goat?
cooked? Is he?
No, he's fine. I don't know. He's still going.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Over here, this manic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Good morning, everybody.
That's the level of energy you'll be getting from Andy
Good
Cortez.
morning,
And
everybody.
over there, Forbes 30 under 30, aka the second best baby blues in the country, aka I've expanded the rankings. I've
Oh
expanded
my
the
God.
rankings.
Well, I saw some good blue eyes in Arizona.
Well, lick them. AKA the verified one at Tim Gettys.
That's him. Most.
How you doing, buddy?
very
Now I
tired.
still am not used to this that you've turned your back on iced coffee. That you want to shake it up sometimes. You understand?
Oh, I was cold.
I understand, but that's just not how you are. You know, you're drinking some weird.
I also
latte.
didn't want to get too much caffeine in me
that's
because
stupid.
I plan to go sleep.
Oh, me too.
It's not going to matter for me.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast, and we're recording it literally 30 minutes after landing. We just got back from Arizona after the first ever Kind of Funny World Tour meet and greet stop. We'll be talking about that,
We
and I'm
met
sure
regret. It was great.
we did, and we'll be talking about that and everything that happened, all the
Regret.
shenanigans that happened. What?
It just rhymed.
Yeah, don't do that.
was just an
You're
easy
making
rhyme.
Arizona feel bad, like we didn't have great Peter Piper pizza.
Well, you know,
people.
I mean, it was pretty good.
The pizza
It's
people.
pretty good.
People pick.
If you didn't know, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a topic about what's going on in their life and just hanging out and talking to you about it. You like that, and that's how it works. If you like it a lot, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny. If you go there, you can support us at the bronze tier, be part of the show. The silver tier, you can get the show ad-free as an MP3 and video, along with that pre and post show. You can watch it live as we record it, like so many of you are right now. And of course, if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. On Friday, it goes up as one big video on youtube.com/kindoffunny and podcast services around the globe. What are you laughing at? What happened? What happened?
So we arrive in San Francisco. Kevin's
Oh,
like,
God.
stop at the Starbucks, right? So stop at the Starbucks. It's a drive-through. And of course, we're waiting in the drive-through, and Nick's telling some story that is about whatever.
It wasn't even that. He was like trailing off insulting one of us.
Yes,
it was
yes,
probably
yes.
Kevin, but I can't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
it's usually
Train was
what it
off
is.
the rails. Didn't know where he was
and
going.
then the window rolls down. So he's like, yeah, window rolls down. Hello? At the Starbucks drive-through window.
We rolled up to the drive-through window. Yeah, anyways, well,
And
piece of
yells-
shit. Hello?
Yells hello at them.
Like Nick just answered the phone. Like forgetting the rules of engagement on a drive. What do you want? What's going on? Why'd you ring the bell? We didn't ring the bell, sir. You drove up to the drive-through.
What do you want?
It's one of the, here's the thing. When you swim at these fucking sharks, when you go out and run with the jackals like I have to do every day, you got to be perfect.
Are we the jackals?
You guys are the jackals.
Oh, wow. Fuck me.
Because you're just always circling around me, waiting for me to fuck something up so you can just come in and pinch a little meat off me, you know? And the
It's because you
second...
usually
the
pitch
sec-
perfect games.
I know. The second I said it, I was like, oh no. Because I kind of just go,
jubilance in your voice.
oh god, I was excited.
Yeah.
Because we really haven't had Starbucks in the last couple days.
It's
We had
been a while.
we had the coffee that we got from the Walmart, but that was not. It's not the same.
no,
it
it's not
was
the
good.
same.
It was
It
just
was
not
good.
the same.
Before we get into all the stories, of course, I want to remind you that we are brought to you today by our Patreon producer, DJ Kento. Wow. DJ Kento. Dwayne Johnson Kento.
Dwayne
That's what I've been
Johnson.
told. That's what I've been told. And of course, our sponsors, Robinhood and the University of Advancing Technology. If you are a video person watching this show at a later date, you might say, oh, they went back to the old podcast table. No. We're just on a time crunch. We're doing the Kind of Funny podcast and then immediately doing Kind of Funny Games Daily.
I mean, I do
So there's
miss
no
the screen,
time.
though.
There's no time to flip them around.
I miss having the front screen.
The screen's nice, but like,
I like the old. I like the fact that the old table makes this show look different and
Me too.
has our roots involved and
agree.
all that stuff.
our roots.
See, the thing about the jackals is you're like the lead jackal. So like when there's nothing more I like than somebody says something, and this is a treat. Where we're on a trip together and we're already happy just to be doing
We're on
something
vacation,
weird.
man.
We were on vacation.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. And none of you wanted to fucking party. None of you wanted to have a vacation. You all wanted to work now and stuff. But it was that when somebody says or does something stupid, me and Nick look at each other. And then if it's most of the time we're lined up and Nick will do the and I'll laugh too. And then we're in. We're gonna fucking
It's party
tear Tim a
time,
new
doggy
asshole
dog. It's
about
never
whatever
me.
he just
It's
did.
never
I
me.
mean, look, man. The fact of the matter is, if you're gonna dish it out, you got to be able to take it. And the thing about it is this: I expect it from Greg. I expect it from Kevin. I expect the worst, which is from Tim. Because Tim doesn't say anything. He just does what he's doing right now, where he just
Shaking
kind of
my head.
nods.
He looks at me and
Dude,
goes,
I give it to Andy. Andy gets
Yeah.
it the most. Where he like Andy was just like,
we're in the morning meetings, or we're in our production meeting, and it's a buzz. Nick says something, and Tim will just do the office look, the John Krasinski.
my favorite thing is just you get in a mood. I would say 20 to 35% of every day.
Yeah.
Where if you're in that window,
Silliness.
anything someone says, you're gonna have a response to. You
silliness.
didn't listen to what they said.
Don't need to.
But you'll have something to say back. And then that conversation will just keep spiraling and it ends up somewhere with it's just you and it probably ends up with you doing the laugh.
Or,
The same laugh.
or randomly sing Selena. It's like you're saying right now. What are you saying?
What?
What are you saying?
What? I said Salinas?
What was he saying, Joey? Did you like he
I
was
won't lie to
talking?
you, Andy. That's on you. That's like you're lost in your own headspace.
No,
there.
Tim is talking to him, and I heard
Salinas.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, silliness.
Oh,
silliness.
Sorry.
Oh.
silliness. Yeah, I
thought
like
you
to
were
be
just
silly.
referencing-
I get into silly
Yeah,
mood
me
every once in a while.
too.
We get a nice vibe
I
around the
love
office every
Silly
once
Nick.
in a
I
while.
miss Silly Nick.
Yeah.
Last night after 5.5 hours of wrestling, we did not have Silly Nick, and I was trying to bring you back around. I couldn't do it.
I just,
impossible.
and last night I was like, I just need to. I gotta bow out.
Yeah.
And I was with the group. I was like, maybe we'll see. I thought someone said taqueria. I'm like, if we find a little taqueria and walk up to like a stand or something, I'll totally hang out with everyone. But then we walked to the fanciest restaurant on the fucking planet, and I was like,
But it wasn't though.
Nope,
that
it
was a
sucked.
facade.
Yeah.
Like you look at the menu and everything was like $11.
yeah. Well, we were in Phoenix.
But wrestler Mandy Rhodes was there, and the other wrestler.
Rose.
Yeah. James is no longer
Rose?
here to tell.
Or
Maybe
Rhodes.
Rose. I think
that
it's
was in the
Rose,
D.
right?
Oh.
I'll tell you something about James.
Here we go.
I have
Bruh.
never met someone who is a bigger fan of something in my entire life than he is.
We're talking
in
about James
WWE.
Burke, of course. You're
Yes.
probably familiar with him from Tim's stories, and he usually comes in for the watch along pay-per-views. Yeah.
He did
Wrestling,
the thing.
Disneyland, and
Giants.
SF Giants. Yeah.
There was a moment where everyone left to go to the bathroom, of course, because we were at the arena for 74 hours.
To bring you up to speed, yeah. We got down there at like 4 o'clock. We got there at like 3:30, got the tickets, got in. We're like, oh, 4 o'clock show starts, whatever. We got there and I was like, oh no, the pre-show's actually at 5 or whatever. So we killed
Well,
time
so
to
the
land.
problem was
Or no, other way
Arizona
around.
is a different time than what we're used to.
Yeah.
And we were still going off of like the time that 4 p.m. to us meant something.
Yeah.
But
That
were
was
there
actually doors
at,
or whatever.
at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like like we were there and it said 4 because we were in Arizona, but the screen in front of us said the show starts at 4. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But they were talking about Pacific time.
Oh, I didn't get
Yeah.
that.
So we were totally just fucked.
So we were there early, and then so we caught all the pre-show, and then the real Royal Rumble. It's one of the big pay-per-views. Went on for, I mean, what it was
And it
5
now
is when it
has
started.
2
It
Rumbles.
it started at 5 and ended at 10. Like
Yeah.
that's just the
It
main
was an
show.
excessive amount of wrestling.
Just, I
it
just
was
dropped
definitely
that.
a little too much,
Get
yeah.
rid of that AJ Daniel match. There was no
Yep.
reason for that.
Yep.
Just nobody cared.
That was
was
it.
Especially after such a great female Rumble.
Dude, it was so quiet around me. Like you guys,
Yeah, we
were
all got up and went
You guys
pissed.
were all gone, and like,
And everyone else in the arena did
hardcore
too.
fans behind me and all around me were just like talking and on their phones and just like bored.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Like that was right after the women's rumble, right? You
Right.
need a cool down moment. Like you need that moment of just like that. Just thing was just fucking awesome. Having Becky win was a fucking moment. Everyone was hyped. You need to kind of break it down. That breakdown should not last fucking an hour. It felt like it never ended.
Yeah.
That was
I
also
just-
when they walked around. They're like, "Last call." I'm like, "There's a men's Rumble and 2 championships left.
Yeah.
Let me get fucked up."
Yeah, my thing was like, as a probably the least wrestling fan in the office, really enjoyed the Rumbles. It's one of those things where I was like, if this were a 2-hour long show, I would have like, this is a fucking blast.
Yeah.
But the fact that the matches seemed to just go on like 5 minutes too long, and then some of them like just ended kind of blah. You know, like the men's Royal Rumble kind of ended blah, and you're like, oh, okay.
It was fine. Just I don't think it was as good as the women.
No, the
I thought
women's
this was
awesome.
it was a great pay per view. Just like there were some moments that I'm like, I would cut that. Like we didn't need to go to the pre show. Like that's kind of what I'm buying.
What you're taking away
from now
from it,
on,
yeah.
where I'm like, yeah, that made it too much. I feel like if we didn't have that extra hour and a half, we would have been like,
Oh yeah.
all right.
Well, I mean, it didn't help that we like. I felt like I didn't sleep super well to begin with.
No.
Dude,
I got to the arena, and I was like, oh no.
I was already
like
tired.
falling asleep.
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
chair.
yeah.
Well,
Gio
so
had to
that's
get
after
coffee.
a 3-hour meet and greet too. Remember, 3.5.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Like, and that's the other thing. When I was sitting there and I was like, man, my entire neck and back is killing me. Oh, right. Well, we did a whole meet and greet before this, which, you know, if you've never done a meet and greet or been to one, like, it sounds like you're just hanging out, which it is, and it's great, but it is a lot of standing around talking, being on for
my
that.
legs were throbbing,
Usually we
man.
don't do work after a meet and greet, or I go do an event after.
Dude, it was an awesome meet and greet, though.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing
was
turnout.
way more people than I thought
So many
there'd be.
people.
Thank
so
you,
many
Arizona.
people.
I had the weirdest moment because Andy and I were late because Andy needed to buy a hoodie.
Yeah.
Also, I heard there was rumors you both had to poop.
I did end up pooping.
Yeah, we got back, and I texted Greg, and I said, we're back at the Airbnb. Nick needs to shit, and I might too.
Yeah.
And
well,
I
you know,
didn't.
you got to take. Here's the thing: you don't know when you're gonna get out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna try to do this, take advantage of it.
Well, we also had to buy toilet paper.
We did.
We
did
ended up not
actually have to
needing
buy
it,
toilet
but
paper.
you never know, dude.
Andy was so worried that we were gonna run out of toilet paper. I'm like, Andy, we have 1 day left here.
Y'all motherfuckers went to Walmart, and I don't know what happened. We went to Peter Piper's Pizza the first day that we got.
Yeah, we got in Saturday. We got in on Saturday
Immediately
afternoon.
go to this pizza place, and it was what a blessing. What a little blast that was.
Yeah,
all of us,
it
even
delivered.
though-
You were worried about Peter Piper Pizza not delivering.
I was worrying about the taste, but my last visit there was, you know, a little bit below average, I'd say.
And that was in Texas.
And that was in Texas, yeah. And a lot of it has to do with just how they cook the crust. Sometimes it just doesn't bake all the way through, and it's all like fucking
Chewy.
just chewy and weird, and like you could tell it's like not fully cooked or whatever.
It gets 9 out of 10 as far as like pizza and food for me. Like, but it gets maybe like a 1 out of 10 for the ambiance.
Well, that was my favorite thing is going into it. I was just like, I had pretty low standards. It's like if someone's like, oh, this is something I like, let's fucking do it. I'm like, cool, whatever the hell
Right.
it is. Especially because I understood what you were pitching here.
Right.
You're not saying this is like the best place in the
pizza in the
world. You're
world,
saying
yeah.
it's like, this is the best
Chuck E.
shitty pizza.
Cheese, yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
cool.
Chuck E.
This is my
Cheese.
favorite
And-
like shitty pizza.
And it
that
definitely was. But yeah, when we walked up and like we saw what we were getting into, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like this is actually
It's a Chuck E. Cheese.
It's a Chuck E. Cheese.
Like,
yeah.
they're
and
like-
we had 10 adults walk in without a kid. Kevin with the fucking camera with the fucking mic on top of it. It was like, and no one stopped us. Like, no one even questioned it.
No, baby.
Arizona was so chill with everything. We filmed everywhere. Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, we decided, we were like, should we try to take this big camera rig into Walmart? And I was like, well, what's the worst gonna happen? Like, they'll just tell us to stop, right? And then at one point, no, I was like, I don't, like, they'll just tell us to stop. Like, who cares? Let's try it. And we walked in and we shot for like a good hour. And at one point, one of the employees was like, hey, can I be in that?
No, it wasn't even. Yeah, so like
was
I worked
weird.
at a Walmart, right? And then I also have tried to record in a Walmart back at the PS3 launch. My videos still did pretty well if you want to find them on my old YouTube channel. Thank you very much. No big deal. No big deal. That's when they started approaching me of like, do you want to monetize this? And I was like, what do you mean? This is a scam. Get out of here. They fucking don't want you to film there. And yes, we were walking around with a full-blown camera crew, being morons. We're in Walmart for 45 minutes, just tossing random shit in there and doing stuff.
So I wasn't with you guys because like just the group was too big to go in one Uber. So we were like hanging out, and then you guys were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Walmart and get a couple snacks, get some beer, whatever." It's like, "Oh yeah, cool." Yeah. When I get back and see what you guys brought,
It's so much.
I was simultaneously proud and horrified at what I saw.
Well,
Because
when
it was
we were-
like, all right, cool. There's beer and like, oh, there's wine.
We were
for
wrong.
the
Well, it was
girls.
because we had a few. We went to Peter Piper. We put down the pitcher there. We had another pitcher on top of that. Then we went to that brewery next door, right?
Taught you guys
then
how to play shuffleboard. That was
Yeah,
fun.
you played a lot of shuffleboard. Then it
broke
was
the
time.
basketball record. At
Then
Peter Piper.
then we're like,
Yeah.
then let's go to Walmart and keep filming everything. And so we do, right? And it's us three, Kevin.
Stop by GameStop first.
Exactly. So, but the thing is
Power
now
of the players.
we're all feeling good. We're being goons on camera. You know what I mean? And the show's on the road. So yeah, we're just being goons the entire walk over there, making fun of stuff, doing stuff. Went into a GameStop. Of course, the manager recognized us right away. We shook hands, wandered around, then wandered into Walmart, and then yeah, nobody stopped us. Nobody cared.
No one stopped you. Yeah, there was like Hostess cupcakes. There was like an excessive
there was
amount of.
DiGiorno. We got a DiGiorno, of course. 'Cause
If
you have to
anything, we
rep.
gained like 10 YouTube subscribers because there were so many people like, what's your YouTube
And that was the thing
channel?
when we were in the wine aisle, calling Gia on speakerphone for advice on what her and Paula would want for the wine they would never touch, that we just left there. In true Airbnb fashion.
Yeah.
And we were doing it, and then a Walmart employee walked by and popped into the shot and goes, thanks for coming to Walmart, and then left. And we were like,
Hey man,
I saw him walking up and I was like, oh, he's going to tell us to shut it down. And he's like, what's up, guys? I was like, oh, okay, cool.
What's up, mom?
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
That guy weighed his future employment at Walmart versus the 10 followers he might get from that. It was like,
And that
fuck
was
it.
the thing at Peter Piper, yeah, because we had the pizza and the wings. Excellent, great food, great times. Then we went into the arcade section where I was putting on a clinic in that Ghostbusters game.
You're doing
and
real well.
so many kids were coming up to Kevin and going, hey, you're a big kid. why are you filming? What is this for? What is the YouTube channel? And Kevin would give him, and they're like, oh, that's really cool, big kid. And then like they
When you say big kid, you mean like when the kids walked up to him, they looked and they saw themselves in him, but he just bigger.
I think they just thought
Like
he was
when
a
they
great. He was a
scaled up
great head.
1-to-1.
He was a great head. Of
Okay,
them,
and they
you
just
know what I mean?
did any of them try to climb Kevin? Because I imagine.
I hope so.
I want to try to climb him.
And so yeah, but so many of them were like, "What YouTube channel is this?" And then we're like leaving. And they're like, "We're gonna follow." Like, all right, cool, thanks. That's not probably gonna be what you want.
Yeah, you're probably gonna hear a lot of really mean words. But we tore it up at that arcade, man. We tore up that arcade.
Yeah, you did a lot of basketball.
Very
You
sore.
didn't get as many tokens or tickets as I did.
It's a different, yeah. It's kind of it's fucking bullshit, honestly. Like the amount of basketball I played for the little amount of tickets I got was like embarrassing, dude.
Yeah.
So
I was raking
it's,
them in. I had
it's a different
206.
game. If y'all are familiar with, I think it's normally called like trick shot or shoot your shot or whatever.
Hot Shot is the one.
Yeah.
Hot shot is the one I'm
Pop
used
shot.
to. Yeah. You just do one round and then it's like, all right, it's done. And then so I did like my round at this game, and then the balls kept coming out, and I was like, "Hey, look, Kevin, no look," and I was like, just like playing it up for the
Dunking. You're
camera,
just dunking.
and I realized like, oh, the game's still going. And when I looked down at the rules, it's like you do a round for a minute, and if you hit this amount, you go to round 2, and you do that round for 50 seconds.
That's kind of fun.
If you hit that amount, you go to round 3, then 40, and if you hit that amount, the final
Michael
round.
Jordan himself comes out and congratulates you. Says, "Hey, no one's ever done
Great
this."
game,
Then
great
he
game.
mouths,
Great game,
"Save me."
But so in round, so I ended up playing again, and in round 4, I'm like, holy shit, my arms are like really tired right
Them
now.
Jello arms, yeah.
Yeah. And then so this guy came up and tried to challenge me, and Kevin and I were just eyeing his ass down, and he fell short by like 40 points, and me and Kevin like took that as a victory.
Did you take his money?
And then I went back to the other machine, and I was like, I can't beat the record on that machine, but I might be able to beat the record on this machine.
Sure, yeah.
Fucking crush that shit, Kevin. Holy shit.
Kevin, were you impressed?
Yeah.
It was a day of competition across the board. Because after that, we played some shuffleboard. Andy and I fucking
That was fun, man.
dominated.
Shuffleboard is very fun.
Very fun.
But you missed the creme de la creme of competitions for this. Some would say it's Royal Rumble, not so. We were walking into Walmart, and there were 2 people, or we thought 2 people, playing Mario Tennis Aces. And it was just one person. And Greg offered that person $5 to play Andy. $5 bet. And the guy's like, I don't have $5. And then Greg just stared at him for a second and put the money back in his pocket.
walked
And mind
It
you,
was
this is
a-
all on camera.
Yeah.
We're
But it
just
was-
like filming random people
It was
now.
like a look of like, you fucking utterly failed me, kid. And the kid's like, what the fuck is happening
Yeah,
right now?
yeah,
It
it's
was
$5.
fun.
man.
But
Get
remember
at it.
also, like, I fucking destroyed your ass at shuffleboard. Remember that?
The one-on-one, but it was
Yeah.
like, senpai, master to apprentice. I kind of,
You let me? I mean,
You
you
know.
seem pretty like, you're like, fuck, Andy, you're really good at this.
No, I was playing it up the camera.
Ah,
and
okay,
everything.
got
I was
it,
like-
got it.
Plus,
No,
the problem
Kevin
is I
wasn't
only have-
filming, actually.
I'm such a legend. I only have like 1 or 2 like good games left in me, and I use that capacity to just
Shuffleboard legend
to
Nick
beat Tim and
Scarpino.
James.
Yeah, it was real good,
It was
man.
real fun.
Yeah, it
real
was
fun.
bad.
It's a good board.
It wasn't a good board.
No,
There
it
was
was
no
horrible.
sand.
There was no fucking sand. Like for anyone that's played shuffleboard before, there's the board, and then on the side there's like these little divots
gutters,
that the
yeah.
gutters that are supposed to be filled with sand that you then take and like drizzle over
Yeah.
the thing to make the little the shuffles board. I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck they're called,
The board shuffle.
but instead this just had it was lined with carpet that was sand colored. So it was very confusing
interesting.
because everyone's like, oh, they were sitting down and like not playing. We're just like, just grab the sand, just grab the sand. And like we're
No.
like, it's carpet.
Yeah, but the most annoying part was like it wasn't enough room to get your hand in there and try to get a good pinch.
So it
of
was
the
really-
board.
it was really just
So
kinda
you're like
finger
trying to like,
pinchy.
yeah, like trying to get in there.
It's
and
like the guy from
I think I
Scary
got, like,
Movie 2, just
yeah,
like-
yeah, exactly. I'm
was
pretty sure I
bad.
got a few.
Now, for
splinters.
anyone wondering if you're listening to this, going, why didn't you like customarily, like you're supposed to, go ask the bartender for the fucking shaker or for some extra sand or whatever salt, whatever they're using? I did, and I was like, hey, you guys any more sand for the board? And the guy's like, oh, I think we're out. Proceeded to like literally looked at the guy. I was like, do we have any more sand? And the guy goes, I think we're out. Then he turned around, opened one little cabinet underneath, looked in, closed it, and was like, yeah, we're out.
I'm
And
pretty
like,
sure.
is that where you keep the
I'm
sand?
pretty sure
Like-
he just opened a fucking
He
like
opened
cooler.
a refrigerator.
Yeah, he opened a cooler.
I was
right?
like, there's no.
I thought I
I'm like,
saw
there's
that.
beer in there. Like, you didn't even.
You're like, it's
that's
a
not where you
desert.
keep
Walk
it.
outside. Scoop
And
it off
also,
the
do you have any like
street.
Morton salt or something like we could just do on there? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It was fun though.
It was
I like
fun.
shuffleboard.
I'm glad you guys played. I haven't played in forever. Like, it actually took me a while to remember how it was supposed to go, and I'm surprised I remembered actually some of the rules. Got a couple of them wrong, but you guys will never know.
Doesn't
And
matter.
then
Doesn't matter.
got a little bit tipsy, right? Go to the arcade to hang out with Xavier.
Well, no,
Woods.
you're missing. You're really underplaying this Walmart trip because I feel like we were in the Walmart forever.
We were there a good 30,
And it was
45
one of
minutes.
those things like it was like Idiocracy, where it was like Welcome to Costco, I love you. Where we were just it's rows. I got lost at one point. I said, Kevin, if I don't make it out, send me pictures of your. No, I didn't say that.
Me and Greg harmonized with a woman. You weren't even there.
That's true. In the cereal aisle, we were drunk and singing, and that
And I
woman
was like,
joined us.
And I
We
was
had
like, Greg, let me harmonize with you. And then this woman was like, oh, I'm going to get in on that. And we were like, get in here. And
She
was like,
did, and we filmed
yeah,
her.
we were like, all right.
There was just, there was
can't
just
wait to see
so
this.
much.
We'll
at
see
this
how much
Walmart.
footage we can use on all of it.
Andy, we bought Andy some Legos because he wanted to.
Those
do
are
that.
there was a really funny moment because I love collecting the Star Wars microfighters. They're just like the little tiny. It's like a regular minifig inside of like a tiny little Millennium Falcon. It's super cute.
yeah.
I love those, and I was like, oh, I love these. This is Series 6, the Naboo Starfighter, and fucking Darth Maul ship or whatever. I was like, oh, cool. These are brand new.
No, he was so fucking excited.
I was, yeah.
He like got down on his knees like a child and was like, oh, and picked him up like you do. You're like you just want to like savor. every
because I didn't
second
even
of
know
it.
they were out
He's
yet.
like, oh god, it's the pod racer and it's the fucking
wasn't a
speed
pod
thing.
racer.
What?
I already
It's
said.
Speed figure.
Na-
What?
Naboo Starfighter.
The Naboo Starfighter.
And
what was
Darth
the
Maul
se-
ship.
And Darth Maul ship. Oh my god, it's amazing. And I was like, oh, I'm like Andy, again, throw him on the thing. It doesn't matter.
And he's like, I'll do separate transactions.
He's like, no. He's like,
Nick's
no,
like,
it's really important to me.
Nick
I'll
was
do it.
literally like, we're making you work 14 days in a row. We
Yeah.
can buy you the fix.
That was my favorite.
Like literally though, as like he was a kid.
It was my
looking
favorite
at these
quote of the
things.
weekend,
And I'm
yeah.
like, Andy, why don't you? I'm like, there's a third one. If you want the third one too, get it. And he goes, well, oh, what is that? Oh, it's a TIE Fighter.
I already have
the one. I was like,
No, but
damn,
like
dude.
we got to the register and they're putting all the snacks on the fucking thing and Kevin grabs the minifigs and I was like, no, I'm gonna pay for they're for me. And he was like, don't fucking worry about it. We'll put them on the thing. And yeah, Nick was like, Andy, we're making you work a full weekend. We can buy you Legos.
But I will say this, and to Andy's credit, he was like, okay, yeah, great. And then did he offer to pay for the hoodie that he's gone on right now?
Now,
No, straight up like fucking carte blanche now. I'll take whatever the fuck Nick wants to pay for.
How expensive was it, by the way?
It was a good solid $5, I think. It was not
So this
very
is
expensive.
the problem was we'll get back to the arcade with Xavier. We have this Airbnb, and we're staying there, and it's luxurious, right? It's deep,
Luxurious.
lots of
Arizonian
rooms,
luxury.
lots of rooms there.
good at all.
But at
There
the-
was a lot of rooms. That was a fact.
totally
terrible.
But there was one room with the twin beds, and there was you had
You come to a
Gia,
crossroads.
Kevin had Paula, and so it's me and Nick's Nick. He gets his own room, you know what I mean? But it was me, Andy, James Burke, and there was this conversation of like, what do we want to do these twins bed? And I'm like, me and Andy know each other the best. We've been intimate before. Let's do it again. And so we took that room in the back there. You know what I mean? And we were like, no big deal. Twin beds, fine. It's night end of the night. We get in there, and it's like, fuck, it's cold back here. You know what I mean? It's cold. It's a desert, but it's cold back here. It was nice in the front room. We had the heater on there. We're like, well, maybe the heat will eventually get back here. And then there was I'm drunk, but what is very clearly an air conditioning unit. And I was like, well, it goes up. Like there is a button, I can turn it up. Maybe it is a heating, cooling, air conditioning unit. And instead it just blew air all night long, not making it any warmer.
It was just a fan.
Meanwhile, I'm in another room that I didn't realize you guys were turning the heat on. I was in hell.
Oh, God.
I was like, I was almost naked on the bed, no sheet, no blanket on me, just fucking laying
Sweating,
there.
just being gross, yeah.
It was hot, yeah. But I'm just like, this is fucking my nightmare. Where it's like, you know how I am with heat. I can't fucking deal with this
Sure.
shit. And I'm like, this sucks. This is not comfortable. And then I hear in the morning you guys were all like talking about how cold it was. I was just
Yeah,
like,
so
It was
this is the
So
worst.
yeah, I woke up in the morning and I'm
coughing. I feel like we were both coughing. I
Yeah,
heard you
yeah,
coughing
I was
and we were
wrapped
like,
up. Yeah,
you know,
exactly. But I looked over at Andy, and what he looked like from the back, right, was Apocalypse from the film X-Men Apocalypse.
Great.
He was bundled up so tight that I could see his entire like form.
I had it just all around my
but
body.
he was just wrapped up as if
my
he was going
face
to go
was not
team with
exposed to
Olivia Munn.
My
you
face
know?
was not
Yeah.
exposed to the elements, and we realized clearly this Airbnb, these back rooms were probably built after the fact. So the back rooms that me, Greg, and Nick were in, there was no infrastructure to support the heat reaching back
yeah.
there.
They did not continue the air ducts
Yeah.
to reach all
And
the
as
way
we
to
were,
the back of the house.
as I saw, when in the morning we're recapping the situation, doing it, Kevin walked back there, and right next to the sliding door, there's just like a hole. Like it's clearly meant to be a vent that they had just covered with like wire. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a hole in the wall.
Yeah. So Kevin, I see him walk out and he like turns off the heater and he puts the AC on or whatever. And I was like, oh, he turned off the heat. I was like, you want to just leave the heat on for a little bit? Because we're like thawing out.
Yeah, we came back in the living room.
And he was like, wow. I was like, go walk back there. And Kevin walks back. He comes back out. He's like, man, it just kept getting colder. So like, as the further you walk back in the trenches, it like the temperature would drop.
What did you do? You tore into like a mattress pad and wrapped yourself up like a rat?
Well, first off, I did. I was like, I need more blankets, so I put every like layer I had on, with the exception of the denim jacket. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep in my fucking denim jacket. So I go into the closet, and I look down, and there's what I thought was a blanket. And in my stupor, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rip this fucking thing up. I couldn't get it out because I was like, why is this blanket being so stubborn? It wasn't a blanket; it was a foam mattress topper. You know, like the ones
like
that
a
you
mattress
like
pad,
kind of
so
mattress pad.
Like grandma.
And so as I was
ones.
trying to pull it out, it kept expanding outward and like pushing up against. Finally, I just beast strength fucking ripped this thing apart. Threw it
you're
out.
so strong.
Took all of the foam and just put it on top. And I was like, I hope this does the trick. And it insulated the shit out of me. It was great. It was great. But I needed more too, so I still put my towel on top of that.
The Airbnb was weird. I've never been in one before that really felt like it was purely made to be an Airbnb for parties.
You know, well, the one
Like
at
college
LA
parties?
that we had for E3 was definitely an Airbnb.
Well, that's
place.
different though. Like
Yeah.
that was more like that is actually like a party den, right? Whereas this
Party den.
has the illusion of being a real house. But
Yeah.
it's just like the way it was all set up and like with
bad.
the amount of rooms.
It was like, yeah, because normally in a house, you have like maybe, what would you say, like a 2-to-1 square footage for like living space to rooms.
Yeah.
You usually have like more living space than you do room, right? This was 7 bedrooms, one little tiny couch area and like a little dining area. And it was not
they did
good.
it, man. Good for them.
And I'll tell you, I hate Airbnbs. I hate them. I hate their stupid restrictions. I hate that they were like, we expect you to wash shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's the
go
thing.
fuck
The
yourself.
house rules, like, yeah, and like at the end, I'm like, I'm leaving your fucking place at 4:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Wash the
I'm not
sheets.
washing your, like they wanted us
What
to
am I
wash
paying
sheets. I
you
was like,
for?
you're lucky I don't wipe my fucking ass with your sheets.
with these useless ass sheets.
Fucking useless sheets. I'm like, how about this? How about put a blanket, an extra blanket, or some heat in the back fucking room?
Yeah, I
hate
expected
'em.
the closet to have like extra things in case you need them.
You would think so.
Yeah, no
Well, I mean,
rags.
it is
I
the
bought a
thing.
loofah.
In the weirdest thing was like that the house clearly had just been purchased and made for this, right? Because they still had the for sale sign out front, or the stick where a
Yeah.
sign would hang, but it's not
Very
on
dangerous.
there. And then you got in there and everything was brand new. Which,
But like that just shows you the laziness,
the intent of this.
of these people. There was one of those crosses where it's a for sale sign, and they're like, we'll just leave it up.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll need it.
And then you
later.
walk in and it just looked like an IKEA showroom, but
Yeah.
like not the rooms you would like
No.
be like, oh, that's nice. You're just
Like,
like,
literally,
oh.
it's the chairs from the podcast. The set
it
we
was,
usually
it was
sit
a
on.
weird situation.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But anyways,
I
though,
hated it.
then yeah, the next day, Andy's like, I can't do even 4 more hours like that in this room. And you guys went to Walmart and bought this
little
sweatshirt.
hoodie. Yeah, to this hideous hoodie.
I love
I
it.
love it,
It's
dude.
nice.
I love it. dude.
We So do you want to talk about the arcade?
Why don't we jump around and do whatever?
We hung out at the arcade for a bit. Xavier Woods was
Cobra.
like, "Come out to this Cobra arcade. I'm going to be here every night, like Royal Rumble and then
Saw
Raw and
Mega
then
Ran there.
SmackDown." Yeah, Mega Ran was hanging out.
Wait, were
also.
they doing more shows in that arena?
Not in that
No,
arena.
not in that arena?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
Oh, a little smaller venue, I guess.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that bar was like a little bit too loud inside. I feel.
Sure, they had a DJ. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
I think Cobra would be awesome any other on a normal night, but I think because it was
From what I
wrestling,
hear, it's not.
Oh, really?
And, well, not in that way. It is in the way of if you're trying to party. It is supposedly the party spot in
okay.
Arizona. It's super loud.
yeah, we're dorks.
always
We want to
super
just play
packed.
we
Yeah.
want to play the arcade game.
It's not that.
It,
It's
it
definitely like-
reminded, yeah. When me and Nick were waiting outside, he was like, "This looks like Austin."
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does, it does
Yeah,
look like
yeah,
Austin.
It does
Yeah,
look
yeah,
like Austin.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the whole time before we even left, here's what we did, guys. We started Nick on The Office.
Whoa!
Yeah. So we were waiting. I guess you all stayed at the bar. You and James and Gia and Paula were all at the bar, and then and all of us were all home.
Well, we went
Kevin,
to
were you
Whataburger.
back? Were you home as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, got
We
it.
went to Whataburger first.
Went to Whataburger.
Yeah, we got a big old Whataburger order.
No, we started The Office way before that. Before we even went to the bar, we got Whataburger
Really?
at night at like
Yeah,
2 in the
I'm
morning or
confused
whatever.
It's all blur.
Yeah, it
Arizona,
was
man.
definitely was a blur. But yeah, so we're like, all right, we're going to the arcade later tonight. You know what? Just fucking put on The Office for Nick. This is a great chance for. He's like,
yeah,
all right, I'm
right.
in. And so
Because there was a brief moment, not even a brief moment. There was a real conversation between you and him about not going to the bar.
there were several moments of like just we were watching The Office, and then Nick kept looking at me and like, Andy, here's the plan. And that conversation started so many times. To one of them, even at one moment, he said, Andy, here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to pretend to pull my hamstring. And then you're going to stay back. And what we're going to do, we're just going to order Peter Piper and we're going to watch more Office. And then we're like, all right, let's get ready to go. And he goes, Greg, Andy pulled his hamstring. And yeah, so there were so many moments like that. And we finally got to the bar and Nick is like, 5 minutes, we're out of here. And of course, we stayed there a long time.
My favorite thing about that night was Nick being fucking exactly what we were talking about earlier, just silly
Fun Nick, yeah.
Fun Nick, yeah. And we see Austin Creed, and Nick's the first thing he does, he goes, hey, you want a Pop-Tart? And he just pulls a Pop-Tart out of his fucking jacket pocket like a creepy ass.
Oh, that conversation
weirdo.
occurred. Because he had called you, right? Austin called you? And you were like, do you want Cheez-Its or do you want a Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
And so Nick busted out the Pop-Tart and was like...
Oh, okay. So there was backstory. There was
I mean, I think
little
his
bit.
request was 2 Cheez-Its, so I don't think it was even what he kind of wanted, but yeah.
So he was like, do you want to... He was like, you want the Pop-Tart, Austin? He was like, fucking course I do.
Yeah, and then Austin took that because Nick had been offering it to a lot of people, including us. And we were like, no, we don't want your goddamn pocket Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
And then
And he hated it.
Austin took it. Yo, did he?
Yeah, because there's green apple Pop-Tarts. Weird fucking churros.
No, they were real good. They were real good, yeah.
Austin Creed did not think so.
Oh, really? Oh, he didn't like
He
it?
did not like it.
Damn.
I believe Nick told me the quote was, that's
Well,
the most
he deserved
disgusting
getting knocked
Pop-Tart
out
I've ever
early
had.
in the Royal Rumble then.
Jesus, man.
Dude.
Too real.
I can't believe that, man. I've said it before, and we'll say it many more times. Hardest working person in the entire world.
Yeah.
Best partier in the whole world.
Yeah.
Just like, he just doesn't stop. I don't think he sleeps. He must work out at some point.
Yeah,
Like, I
he's
can't
got
imagine
to.
when he fits
He
that in.
probably
But like,
has
he
to.
looks like an Adonis.
Yeah.
But then like every night he's hanging out just with everyone. His entire life is a meet and greet. I can't imagine that.
The one thing I loved about that one night at Cobra is that was like the one night a year that Nick drinks.
Yeah.
And Nick drank, and we all
I
sort
didn't
of
even
drank.
notice.
Yeah, oh yeah. Nick was drinking.
He was having fun. He had a cocktail, as he would
Yeah.
say, which wasn't a cocktail, but you know what I mean.
Anytime he drinks,
I feel
Oh,
like we all kind of got there, right? Like we were all.
Oh, we were in a good place.
feeling
We were in a
good,
great
right?
place.
And and it's like 1:30.
Well, I don't
know
want to
it's
get
like
the
1. Oh, go ahead.
Because like the other awesome moment of Cobra, and I have a photo to commemorate it from one Austin Creed, is that I was in the bathroom peeing, and Andy was next to me peeing, and Austin was washing his hands, and another gentleman there was like he was a little bit drunk, and he's just like, hey, so like when do you think you're gonna work with Kind of Funny again? And Austin's like, I don't feel comfortable answering this question with Greg Miller in the bathroom. And the guy had no idea me and Andy were there. He's like, what? And I was like, hey. And he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, we'll talk to you when we're done in here. And then Austin took a photo of us peeing. And then he texted me the next morning, and I was like, tweet it, you coward. And he hasn't tweeted it because he's a coward.
Coward!
Yeah.
But yeah, then we left, and that guy, turns out, is like a WWE ring tech, like audio tech.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy, yeah.
So like he was like, I did not know you guys were in there. I'm just a huge fan. Like I don't get starstruck meeting him anymore. I talk to him all the time, but it's awesome that, and I love him. So we talked
He
to him
was
for a
super
while.
cool, man.
He was
Like,
awesome.
as hell.
Such fascinating stuff. Like he was telling us he's essentially the Kevin for WWE.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's like it's a lot more at stake.
Yeah.
With like entrances and like mics and everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, at one point we're like, is the roof going to be open? He was like, I fucking hope. We like have a lot of rigs like with stuff
Better
hanging
not be.
from
I
the
would
roof.
attach things to
from
the roof.
ceiling,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So then it's like 1-ish, maybe 1:30, and Nick's like, Andy, let's go to Whataburger. You're like, let's get the fuck out of here. So then you, me, and Nick all Uber to a Whataburger. The guy did not seem super excited.
But when we offered
to
him
wait in the
food,
drive-thru,
yeah.
and then Greg was like, "Get whatever you want, sir," and he was like, "Oh, all right, I'll get a chicken."
Whoop-de-doo.
And so he was really excited about that. We got a fuckload of spicy ketchup.
Yeah.
And it was one of those meals that the thing I miss about Texas of like kind of being a little bit drunk. And you're just eating disgusting food way too late that your body's going to make you regret in the
100%.
morning. And I regretted it where I woke up and I felt like my body had no time to digest it.
Yeah.
Like I just ate a fucking burger, a shitload of fries,
Still
a
in
bunch
there.
of Coke, and I just fell asleep. And then I woke up the next morning burping like crazy. Like, oh, I feel like horrible right now.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead a little bit, but just talking about food. Goddamn Portillo's. There's nothing more special than it. Like that, I'm so happy you brought that into my life because
I'm glad
it is
worked for
hands
you.
down one of my favorite foods in the entire world.
Thank you. That
And
means a lot.
every single time I've had it, I'm just like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
I had that combo yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that you had wolfed it down after the meet and
Oh
greet.
my God, it was
And I
fun.
mean,
I
that
didn't
was
have time to eat, man.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Well,
Oh,
when
it is
I
at
left,
the end.
I
Yeah,
ordered.
yeah, yeah.
I had Gia go.
Oh, good plan.
That very nice older woman who was working there, Janine.
from San Francisco.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, she was great at getting me waters. And then at the end, I was like, can you give me some food till I give you money? She's like, no, I got it. And she brought me a bag of dogs that I sat there with. But then, of course, destroyed them, had this splitting headache, went to the Rumble. And at first, I just wanted a photo in front of them because they have a Portillo's inside. It's like,
Chase Field.
it's just a normal concession stand, but it's a Portillo's. And so when I found that fucker, I got back in line and got hot dogs there too. And it tasted just like
was
Portillo's.
just like Portillo's.
Fucking
I was
shout out.
mind blown.
And then when I went back up later to get another beer, I was like, do I want to get a beef too? You know, just for science. And I talked myself out of it. Got a helmet full of popcorn.
We fucked up.
We told
so
a lot of
badly.
stories about you a little while ago.
Great.
Nick.
Yeah, we told a lot of stories about
how you like pulled your hamstring and we almost didn't go to the bar.
It was tough.
Now,
It's
if
tough.
we're
It's a
talking about,
tough
like,
one.
I think this is a good bridge here. We're talking about the Whataburger experience, being a little bit drunk, Nick finally drinking a little bit, having some fun, right? And then fun Nick, who we just don't get to see that often,
Right.
did come out to play.
Yeah.
In a way that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
In a way that shocked me.
Yeah.
In a way that scared me. Because I just wasn't prepared for fun Nick on this level, especially for a tag team with fun Andy. Because Andy's always fun. But when Andy was filming me in my bedroom, I was like, this isn't right. Bear, can you show this? Can we do picture in picture and have the sound on
haven't
this?
seen
Do we
this.
want some sound?
Oh, yeah. You haven't seen this yet?
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to roll it back at some point. I'll tell you right now, Paula Coelho, shout out to her as the only person who catched on her first viewing the
Don't
gnostly
spoil-
things that are happening.
don't spoil it for
That's
Tim,
how
yeah.
it stops. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
All right,
So
pulling
if you're
it
an
up
audio
now.
listener, we're watching Andy's Instagram stories. It's a minute and a half. It's just us talking. All the way, Barrett. Crank it up.
What are you filming over there? What are you doing? What are you filming? Nothing, man. Nothing, man. Seems like you're filming something, Andy. Nothing, man. I want you to know that I looked at my towel in there and it better be in the fucking same place I left it.
Your towel's totally safe. I have not fucked with your towel.
I know you might one day.
I have not
We're
messed.
rookies now, right?
I-
Rookies don't tell lies and they don't wear clothes. Don't lie, Andy. You know the rules.
I have not messed with your towel.
I'm taking my pants
Just
off.
did the towel smell kind of weird?
You're just smelling this towel on your bed?
Did your towel smell weird at all?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure, Greg.
No.
Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. You know, I don't know.
I saw it. It's best as a visual if you're an audio listener.
So filthy. What is he looking for?
You're just dying the whole time.
We're all a little happy. We've all had the fun juice here, and I
Oh,
think
we
that
had some
like
juice, yeah.
it was just Andy was just sitting there like this, and I'm like, why are you filming the bedroom? Why are you filming me in the corner of our bedroom? And my defenses were so low. At no point did I think he's done something to the room.
Yeah.
Nick is hiding between the wall and my bed, dressed entirely in black in a shadow. So when I look over, it's just Nick's fucking face smiling up from the ground like a goddamn gremlin.
Halfway through, I just see the hand grab the clothes.
Yeah, if you want to go watch it, it's right now on the Reddit under Andy's Instagram stories or fire or whatever. You should highlight them, put them up. But you go there, yeah. And on the second viewing, it's very clear that Nick reaches up onto the bed and grabs my shirt and takes it back.
The plan was
The plan was because he kept putting things on the bed. I was going to try to get all of them off the bed.
Yeah.
And have him be like, "Did I?
What the fuck?
Like, where did my shirts go?" But then it became I lost focus.
Yeah.
And I just did this.
yeah. I don't know why Nick walked in.
That's
when-
like I don't think a legit Greg Miller scare scream's ever been caught on camera.
Nick walked in while Greg was in the shower, and I was like, for some reason, I was like, Nick, hide behind the wall in the bed. He was like, okay.
Oh man, great. Yeah,
Oh, that was
there
good.
for a while.
That was really good.
Oh,
That
my
was really
You
God.
know how sad I am though? I was like, I know, Greg. Retribution's coming. I walked into my room, but the next night, I think it was, or maybe it was the next night. Come in, lay down, get up, turn the light back on, take all the covers off to make sure Greg's not hiding in my bed. Looked underneath my bed and then looked in the
paranoid.
thing, and then like locked the door.
don't fuck with the bear.
I was like, Greg's gonna fucking get me at some point.
That was too good of a one.
You got.
Last night when we're trying to eke out 3 hours of sleep would not have been the time that I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with Nick right now.
No,
This
yeah,
would end badly.
that's definitely not.
That's the time that you would have come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true.
That is, like, I know
true.
Greg, I wouldn't put it past him.
Wow.
So we wake up Sunday morning. I make a whole bunch of delicious
Oh, so good.
egg scrambles. No one really eats
Did you ever end up
They were
cleaning
very
out?
quiet.
Oh, I
They were very
should've.
quiet making all this
Did
stuff.
you ever end
out
up
there. It's not true. They were very loud.
cleaning
Yeah,
out?
well, you had to get up.
It was sleepy time.
No, it wasn't. It was time to get up and go to the
No,
meet and
it
greet.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Somehow, I think it was
Hours
because
before.
of the rooms. Like they spared no expense in this Airbnb, except for the fact that everything was super cheap and there were no rugs or carpeting anywhere. I was like, oh, I heard Greg leave the room, and I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna go cook breakfast. Like, I'll sleep for another 30 minutes, and then it'll be so lovely. I'll wake up, breakfast will be there, it'll be great. No, go cacophony.
Yeah.
Just gong. He had one pan, and it sounded like he had 50 pans. I was like, what's happening? And
That
then-
shit echoes, man.
Oh god, it was echoey.
Yeah.
Did you ever end up washing the bacon grease out of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cleaned it
thought
all.
you were gonna leave that.
Bacon
for
was
the,
real
house
good,
owner.
man.
That would have. Oh, so you did this thing I've never seen before. He cooked the bacon, like chopped it up into little bits, cooked it first, and then put the eggs in it. So it was basically like bacon wrapped with eggs. It was so fucking
Put some
good.
cheddar cheese in
Man,
there,
I
too.
really dug the coffee that I bought. That cold sort of shit.
we're done complimenting
it was
me?
like it was like a mocha coffee or whatever, but it was made with almond milk.
When I just directed right back
And so
to
it was like
myself.
dairy free, and it was like I fell in love with it because I'm not a huge coffee drinker, and this is something that I'm gonna seek out now.
Andy, I'm gonna say this: it's a coffee.
It was like
drinker.
chocolate milk.
It was
great.
chocolate milk with a little bit of caffeine.
It was
in it.
so
That's basically
great.
What it was.
I
it was
loved
chocolate
it.
There was
almond milk.
also, I noticed, lactate milk in there, which is like, was that for Kevin?
Yeah, of course it
Was
was.
that for
Because
Kevin to eat the Fruity Pebbles that I
yeah, of
also
course
saw?
it was. Yeah,
Kevin
yeah, yeah.
needed
You guys
it.
bought a box of Fruity Pebbles in addition
No,
to all
not
this
a
other
box,
stuff.
a fucking
bag.
like pallet. It was a giant
We were
ass
there
bag.
for one day.
I know.
Again, it was the thing though. We're at Walmart, and again,
It
this is when
escalated,
you
Tim.
knew Fun Nick was out.
Yeah.
When he picked up the marshmallow hearts and was like, "Yeah, into the bat," and like, "Oh fuck, all bets are off." Who knows what we're walking away with this time? And
And
so
why-
yeah,
do you guys remember why? I
tit for
picked
tat.
those?
No,
I was like, do you think Tim will like these?
no.
And you guys were like, no. And I said, okay, I'm going to get them and I'm going to throw them at Tim. And I don't know why I thought that. I was just like,
See,
it would
here's
be
the
funny.
thing. Our group was too big, so everywhere we went was in 2 Ubers, and just how it like would shake out was that it was usually me, Gia, and James. So we just were not part of these shenanigans.
Yeah.
And the whole time,
up, man.
I know things were happening, and I was just like, they're gonna fuck with me somehow. And no one did.
At
There
one
was
point,
never
Nick
a
said-
moment, but like,
No,
I'm sure
because-
there was a lot
no,
of
because
times.
you
Oh no!
know why?
When we were out
Because
that
you
night,
had-
nobody wanted the breakfast stuff. We just knew that it would be loud in the morning.
Yeah,
That was the thing. I was
that
like,
was the long cut.
The
You
reason,
gotta-
the reason why I left you be and largely focused my attention on Kevin was because you had the middle room, and I felt so bad because you were getting it from both ends. We stayed up all fucking night watching
Office.
multiple episodes of The
Yeah.
Office. I'm like, this is so loud.
When we turned it on in the morning, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Let's play another." Bing, bing, bing. I was like, "Was it this loud last night?"
Yeah,
It was at
was.
58 volume, and by the time we went to bed, I was like subtly turning it down to like 36. That's how loud it needed to be. Plus, we were watching it with the subtitles on because that's how old man Andy fucking watches TV.
No, it's because there's a lot of chatter. I don't want you to miss the dialogue,
Andy,
man.
it was
about
very
you.
much.
Enjoying
It's
it.
adorable. We've all been there, I know. But Andy would just not give up. Andy very much was in the same way he wanted us to enjoy Peter Piper. He needed Nick to enjoy
I
The
get it,
Office
dude.
and
This
get The
has been
Office.
for years.
So yeah, when we were talking and getting over it and like jokes were getting lost,
Yeah.
Andy was like, "Let's turn on subtitles."
Yeah,
Let's turn on
yeah.
subtitles.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
up there.
Well,
went
had to.
I was in it, man. I was in it to win it.
We had to. No, but at one point, talking about speaking with Tim, fucking with Tim. At one point, Nick told Greg, "Should we buy snakes to throw in Gia and Tim's bed?"
We walked by a pet store.
Yeah, we walked by a pet store. So that line of dialogue actually happened. I was not joking about that.
Not poisonous snakes.
Oh, yeah, just little
Just
ones.
a couple
Get them
snakes,
in there.
like tuck them in real tight.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
pull
Oh, like in between the mattress and the first sort of
The
like
sheet.
sheet.
Yeah.
And so you see him like moving
Yeah,
around.
You know
yeah.
that useless sheet that it always gets
Top
stuck in
sheet.
your feet?
It's
You're
real
like, I don't
hard
need
to-
this.
it's
I
real
imagine
hard
if
to
you
put on.
stuffed it all down and then it started moving.
Yeah.
One of my
Snakes, cool.
favorite things about traveling with Nick and Gia is Nick then focuses so much of his energy on fucking with her constantly, like just to her. And it's like, she kind of just, she gets it. And she just like, at this point, she knows you like we know you. But it's just like, and she makes bad decisions too, like buying fucking sushi at 8 in the morning to get on a plane. Hell yeah. But then Nick's sitting next to her, and the whole time just like, hey, can I have some sushi? Can I eat some of that sushi?
Well, here's my thing. It's like,
When
if
was
I'm
this?
gonna smell it
on the flight
Saturday?
to Arizona.
Because what
yeah.
happened was she no, first off, she brought gyoza.
Those are
on
strong
first, and they were
smells,
strong.
like,
They were
Very
pungent.
strong. It was
Every smell is amplified on the plane.
But
Yeah.
there are certain
Open beef jerky.
smells that are like you expect at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Gyoza is not what I expect to smell for
11
breakfast at
11
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Not one that I think that sounds like right, you know, and not a lunchtime, a early brunch time snack. She eats that, and then she goes, I was like, okay, it's done. And then she goes, oh no, I have sushi for later.
For
And
later.
at this point, I'm like, I can either make fun of her or just call a spade and be like, can I get some of that sushi?
well. The best thing was
'Cause
that
it looks
she
pretty
didn't
fucking
eat the sushi yet. Like that was her like plan to eat later. Like she said.
I don't know if sushi keeps.
So then for so long, well, later like in the
Another
I know what you
hour.
mean, I know what you
but
mean.
it was just like then 30 minutes later, Nick's just like, can I get some sushi?
God damn it.
And then she's like, okay, like opens
Yeah,
the
why
sushi.
not?
And then I just like look over. The two of them are just fucking eating this plain sushi. I'm like,
Oh, it was very good. There's
yeah,
a couple
was
things.
it very good? I doubt that.
Well, it hit the spot. There's a couple things of note that I respect about Gia. She is, I'll say, dedicated to the red wine to a point that might be problematic.
At some point, she just needs to learn to enjoy a beer.
Yeah.
Because when we got to
Because-
Peter Piper Pizza,
We got to Peter Piper Pizza.
we looked
pizza
at the
people
beer.
picked.
We looked at the beers. Like, what beers they got? Budweiser, Bud Light, or a
Shock
Shock Top. And it was like, oof. All right, we'll do the Bud Heavy, I guess. And then she's like, "Do you have wine?" You're like, "Uh
And they were like, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody's asked for it in 4 years.
And they were like, it wasn't like wine from a tap. It wasn't wine from a bottle. God, no. It was like wine from what looked like a little salad dressing
with the
container.
fucking
Foil top.
Yoplait tip. Yeah,
with a yogurt top on it that said freshest by April 20th or something, but it didn't say freshest because it missed the H.
Yeah,
so
misspelled.
it just said freshest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is bad. They downed that shit.
Not only that, but the
well,
wine.
yeah, they begrudgingly downed
Slow
it.
played it.
I was like, I remember asking you,
they
"Is
were
it
not
good?"
enjoying it.
No,
She was like, "It tastes like vinegar."
yeah. Paul was like, "It tastes like salad dressing."
Yeah.
And you know it was bad too because the container it came in was in the shape of a wine glass, but the wine went all the way down the stem into the actual holder. I was like, don't drink
At
that.
which point, too, as somebody who doesn't drink wine outside of wine occasions, the plastic glass, like, oh, it looked like that's weird. And then when we got to Rumble, and I looked over at Gia, and
the
she
best.
had a different thing with a screw top,
Yeah.
but it was still plastic wine glass. So how's that one? She's like, also bad. I was like, fuck.
I was like,
Shut
gee,
up.
we got to get you on some sort of other alcohol. Now, granted, you're at the Chase Stadium watching the World Rumble.
They have a
I
Portillo,
don't
sir.
think you're
They have
worried-
a Portillo, sir.
But
I
God,
don't
the
think
alcohol
you're
was
concerned with
dire.
craft cocktails. Yeah, you're gonna get a beer and you're gonna like it. That's gonna be pretty much it. Mostly domestic, I would imagine.
Their one import was Dos Equis. Like, all right.
Yeah, all right. That doesn't count. I will say this though. I was like, I saw the Portillo was bad because Andy and I waited in line for fucking ever to get a very subpar hot dog that was
And
actually
there was
like,
no. They ran out of popcorn as soon as
Dude,
we got there.
they
the hot
ran
dog
out of
was like
pretzels. The
oh,
entire
the
park
pretzel
ran
was
out
the
of
best
pretzels.
thing.
I had
Sorry.
pretzel. Yeah.
But I also had a churro. It was not very good. It was kind of underbaked. But I ate the hot dog begrudgingly. I was like, it's fine. It's a fine hot dog. And I looked down. I was like, oh, there's a bag of Portillos there. Thinking, Greg's smart. He somehow figured out how to smuggle the Portillos in. And I should have thought. I thought, I should have ordered to go and figured out how Greg was going to get it in, and then like boofed it up his ass or
Figured out
whatever.
how he was gonna get
You know, like how's he going to do? Is he in the hood? No one checks your hood. And then
It's true, they don't.
after I ate everything, and like an hour later, you're like, oh no, there's a Portillo's here. And I was like, son of a bitch, because I didn't get it. I didn't get any Portillo's that whole
You
trip.
fucked up, man. You
We
fucked
had
up
we
bad.
had fucking really cold cheese. Like we got the nachos and Nick got the pretzel and was like, I want a side of cheese with that. And she was like, well, it's very cold, sir.
Well, hey, shout out to
And
her
he
for being upfront about
No,
it.
no, but I respect this woman.
No, but
why.
here's the thing. That guy my guy didn't tell me the cheese was
No.
cold. I get the
Well,
nachos
'cause here's
and I'm
the thing.
like, oh my god,
no.
this is
No,
like
because he's
cold.
betting that it's going to take us 55 fucking minutes to get down 4 rows anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be cold by the time we get
I
there.
ate
I
all
don't
of
know
it.
how you
No,
guys came
honest-
in so
I ate-
awkwardly. It was fine for us.
I ate the nachos before we even got to the field.
Oh my god, my hands were full and I was trying to figure out how to eat my
It was
pretzel.
great.
But what happened was I get up to the front of the line and I was like, can I get like a little to-go container for the ketchup so I don't have to take this big thing? She's like, I'm sorry, sir, we just can't do that. And I was like, you know what? Then give me cheese. Because I've seen the cheese container. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a self-contained thing. And it backfired on me. She's like, well, it's really cold. And I said, you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it being cold. because I kind of like things cold, right? And I figured by the time I'm getting my seat anyway, it's going to be kind of lukewarm anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
And she goes, thank you. I appreciate that. Because everyone she had told before gave her shit, apparently.
Yeah.
So she was super happy that I was there. So we formed this great relationship, but it backfired on me because she overfilled the cheese container, thus eliminating the reason I wanted the self-contained container in the first place, because the lid wouldn't close without smushing it all over the fucking place. So then I go, well, shit, if I got this thing open, okay.
You fucking idiot.
Smearing on her stupid face. I was like, if I got this thing open, I might as well get all the condiments because I don't know what I'm going to want when I finally get down to this line. And it turns out I didn't even want the mustard. I didn't want the mustard. Okay?
Now hold on, because the mustard's going to play an important part in the epilogue.
I don't know why I don't like mustard unless it's a brown mustard. This is a normal run-of-the-mill
It's
American
yellow.
mustard.
French's.
Forget about the mustard, right? I put it on a little tray. I forget about it. I use the ketchup a little bit for the hot dog. Doesn't matter. Stuff the thing underneath the thing like a movie theater.
His seat.
Under my seat, thinking we're gonna just get up. I'm gonna forget about
And
this.
so now
forever.
he's gonna get up and he's gonna forget about it. So again, we're here now. We're at Chase Field. We're down there. Amazing seats. Thank you so much, Xavier Woods. 5.5 hours have passed. Spirits are low. We're worn out from the meet and greet, which was amazing. We will talk about eventually on this. We're worn out from cheering on our favorites of the show. Nick needs Betty Bye or food, right?
Yeah.
And so we are sitting in the seats where
We're all crashing.
Yeah, we're sitting the seats we get to take. You know, the folding chairs. And so we stand up, and I break mine, and I run it into Nick's arm, and I was like, that was not
Which
what
was
Nick needed
hilarious
right
because
there.
it was so hard. Didn't feel a thing. I was so numb. At that point, again, emergency energy only. I was like,
yeah.
don't have time for pain.
And so then Nick moves his chair, and then he steps down.
No, wait, no. First off, I was like, can I leave this chair here? And Tim goes, no, Cool Greg wants him for the Hendersons. And I was like, okay. So I peel the thing up, which came up surprisingly easily.
There's
which
it's
is
just
very
plastic
weird.
ties on there.
Pull it up, and I look down, and I see the tray of condiments that, like, 15 hours before had been my dinner, my illustrious dinner. And I go, cool.
They had been like there from 3 meals prior.
Yeah. And this is how little focus I still had. I looked over at Tim, and I was like, here's the chair. And Tim goes, no, you have to carry the chair. And I was like,
Because it's based on every
Yeah,
single person.
Your
that's out
ticket.
there.
You have to have your ticket to get it off the floor.
and in an act of course, Nick, I'm tired, stubbornness, I go, ah. And I walk off and I stomp off.
I didn't even notice this.
And my
it gets
fucking-
better.
My foot goes right into the mustard. I'm wearing all white Reeboks, right into the brightest fucking color possible.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, shit.
And I see it happen. I'm like, oh no, Nick's
No,
not
that's
fun,
the
Nick, right
last thing
now.
that needed,
And
yeah.
he's like, and he grabs a napkin. He bends down and starts cleaning his shoe. And as he's doing it, his phone slides out of his pocket and lands in the mustard. And I'm like, oh, that is not what you needed right now. He's like, no, it is not.
And
No,
Greg did the thing where he was like, okay, should I laugh at my kid or should I hug my kid? And he just kind of he's like, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, I need physical contact.
That's so funny. That makes a lot more sense because we were trying to figure out the whole chair situation. And granted, it's like we were all done, wanted to go home and shit. It was just like cool. But Cool Greg was like, hey, let's keep the fucking chairs. And he specifically told you to.
Yeah.
He
He was like,
"Take
all
it."
of us,
Like, can you bring the chair
So
up?
then-
Once we're up there, I will take it from you. It'll
Yeah.
be totally fine.
Great.
And everyone's like, cool. We go up. We were like trying to figure out where the
We took a
chairs were
photo
at.
with a fan. A fan walked up and asked for a photo.
And then Cool Greg like looks. He's like, "Oh, so where's the chairs at?" And then he's like, "Oh, I just gave mine away." And then Cool Greg looks at him and he's like, "Yeah, Nick did too." And Cool Greg goes, "Did I ask them to keep it in Spanish?" I was like, "That is the most like."
He was so
shit
disappointed.
I've ever seen Cool Greg
Yeah.
give anyone.
By the way, that's the bullshit because I got out of the bathroom and I asked him, I was like, hey, what are we doing with this chair? Because I'm carrying this fucking thing around like
And
I'm
we're-
Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah,
okay?
it's fucking
It's the
annoying.
goddamn
Yeah.
my cross to bear this one. I'm more tired than I've ever been in my life. And Cool Greg's like, I need you to just carry something. No. That was my problem too. I have to carry something, but I'm on the floor of this fucking stadium and I can't get out because there's just we were
We're stuck in if you've never been on the floor for a wrestling event, right? We're on the floor of a wrestling event at a baseball diamond, so it is a gigantic floor.
The thing is, baseball stadiums are not made to have people on the floor.
Right.
So it's not like there's just exits and you can just like walk out, because usually events they'll open big ass doors or something. For this, you have to go all the way up.
So like they're checking tickets one by one at the thing, and there's all these little arteries, and there are just masses of humanity.
We went to 4 different entrances.
It's like every time
we played catcher and fucking left fielder and shortstop.
The only thing good about the fact that I was carrying a chair around was I literally had time to sit in it again. I like put it down. I was like, I'm not moving until we fucking figure this out. So I get all the way up to the top with this chair. The guy checks ticket. I'm like, you know, fuck it, whatever. It's for cool, Greg. He's the only person that can get me to carry a fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever like, Nick, I need you to carry a chair. I'm like, I would have taken it.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm like, go get the fucking chair.
So we walk four like stories upstairs.
Yeah. We get upstairs. We all go to the bathroom. The chairs are all piled neatly by the thing. And I walked in. And I was like, okay, what's going on with these chairs? And Cougar goes, I don't know. And I was like, you don't want the chair? And he goes, nah, man, I just wanted a couple for the Hendersons. Like, I don't need the rest of them. And I was like, so I literally asked him, I was like, so I can give this chair away? Because I wanted to give it. I don't want to throw it away. I want to give it to someone who didn't get an opportunity to like get. Maybe they want the chair. Yeah. So I immediately turned to this family that's walking by. I was like, "Hey, do you guys want this chair?"
And they did not believe you.
I think I was like,
second.
why? I don't want to buy it.
You want it for free? You want it for free?
I was like, I just want to give it away. I don't want to carry it anymore. And the guy's like, why not? And I'm like, because it's a fucking chair. That's why. It is a chair. Yeah. It is just a chair. Okay. And I'm on a plane tomorrow, like 1 hour. I gotta get. And I was like, I don't want it. And your kids look like they might like it, and we have a bunch. And the guy's like, sure, I'll take it. And then Andy sees this and goes, he just immediately turns to the guy behind him and goes,
so fast.
It
was like the quickest. I saw him give it away. I was like, hey, who wants this chair? The guy was like, I'll take it. Cool. And I gave it to him. It was like, oh, thank God we don't have to carry these fucking chairs anymore.
But like, how many chairs did Cool Greg want? There was 30 chairs out there.
Yeah, but do you realize how big the Henderson family is?
Yes.
Literally, if they had been carried
they don't all need
for
one
30
to sit
seconds more to get outside, they wouldn't have been your problem.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know
when we were going to meet up with them. Yeah. That was my problem,
there
too.
Was no communication.
Are we going to walk 4 more blocks?
If Cool Greg had been like, hey, man, they're right outside, I'd be like, I will carry this chair. But he was like, I don't care. And I was like, I'm going to kill someone with this thing and frame someone else with it. That's what I'm going to do.
The reaction, this did I ask him in Spanish of Cool Greg, like the betrayal is only matched by during the Sasha Banks Ronda Rousey match.
Good match.
Where I was cheering for Ronda, and he finally noticed, and he turned to me just like, he was like horrified that I was in the row with him cheering for Ronda Rousey.
He takes it serious. At one point, James was like, not looking good for Sasha. He was like, thanks, James. Like, he was not feeling it.
What was his quote afterwards or whatever? It was like, it was a good match. He's like, yeah, it doesn't matter though if she wins or loses. I'm sick to my stomach. Like whenever she's fighting, I don't like watching her fight.
So weird. You gotta love it.
Yeah, and now I feel bad because I disappointed Cool Greg.
It's fine.
He had plenty. I think he was banking on me.
There
keeping
was like
mine.
6 there.
So when I got there, I was like, they can have it. It's no big deal. Because I'm excited. It's my 3rd pay-per-view in a row with a chair. But I'm always so that first one in Survivor Series is like, fuck yes. Got it back, put it on the plane, got it luggage, brought it back here, and then I gave one to Cool Greg here, brought one home, and then it's just like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this chair? I don't have like a lounge room.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having Thanksgivings where I'm breaking out the extension table and putting people at it. Like, what the fuck am I doing with these things? So it's better to give away.
Actually, very comfortable chairs.
They are very comfortable chairs.
But we would know for being there for 47 hours.
So long. I mean, like.
It was fun.
It was fun. We're shitting on a lot.
We're not shitting on it at all. No,
Once once Ronda and Sasha fought, I was like, oh, okay, I got a second wind, and I was like, I'm into this. And then I just made a lot of poor decisions. Okay, the mustard being the first one.
That's where we went bad. The day started.
That was my bad.
I almost made a comment when I saw you eating the shitty hot dog. I'm like, there's a fertility.
No, I didn't.
I know. I didn't want to set you off. Like you were ratcheted up from how long it took to get. Because I don't know how that
it was like fucking Firefest up there. I was like, I'm fighting for a goddamn tent. We were in the line. We were like split 5 in 5 different lines just to see which one would go faster. We were strategizing like some Disneyland Tim shit. I was like, if I get there first, you guys come to me, and then we'll go. Then I get down and I'm like, they didn't have any popcorn.
Okay. I was so pissed off.
They didn't have any popcorn
because everybody in front of us was getting the popcorn.
It came in a
it was like the fucking scene in in Doug where he gets to the front of the booth. And he's like, "Yeah, one ticket for the Beats," and they're like sold out. He's like, "What?" Like that was the exact thing that happened to us.
So I was like, I had popcorn in the brain. I was like, I want a salty snack.
Yeah,
something like I can just tactile touch. Right? Guy comes by, peanuts.
These peanuts.
I'm like, that'll do. That's good.
That'll
there
do.
was 7,000 peanuts. in the
Everything
bag.
else I bought was $6. I should have known. Okay, $6 at an event. I was like, that's actually a pretty decent price, right? And I'm getting good quantities, but the churro was the size of my like fucking torso.
Yeah.
And I was eating that thing forever. I was like, I'm tired of this, but I'm gonna keep going. I get the peanuts. Guy's like $10. I'm like, $10. That's a lot. Peanuts. He hands me a bag that's the size of Gia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know me, I gotta finish. Whatever you put in front of me, I gotta finish. Me, I'm trying to give these fucking things away by the end of this.
Dude,
Greg
the
and
amount
I,
of times
Greg
you offered
literally,
me peanuts.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
I was in it to win it with you.
Greg, but at one point you weren't. At one point you dipped out, and I was like, "Do you want?" And you go, "No, I don't want any of those
But then
fucking
2
peanuts."
matches later, you get pass it back. You go, you got to get these away from me. So they parked in the seat next to me and I was eating them. And I was eating. I don't even like peanuts. And I was eating peanuts for like 4 matches. At which point I passed the bag back to Nick, and he goes, "There's still peanuts."
I looked
so
down at
many.
myself in my shame.
Yeah.
Shame. And
Yeah.
then at the end, we're walking, and Greg goes. I mean, I'm like,
We're done.
I'm
We're out.
oblivious.
We're
at this
onto the
point.
street.
We're onto the street. I've given my chair away. I've disappointed Cole, Greg. And Greg goes, "Hey, you want to see something funny?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he opens up his hand, and he's got a fucking handful of peanuts. And I'm like, "How are there still some left?" He goes, "I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna throw these at Tim's feet like they're poppers." Like
I was
those are
trying to
poppers,
get Nick back to being fun, Nick.
Yeah.
I needed to do something. It was a
yeah.
Hail Mary.
And I was like, I'm in on this, right? I'm in on this. He turns around, he goes, "Wow, he's out weird," whatever the fuck he said.
He did say some weird
And he
shit.
throws him on the ground, and I'm like, that was pretty funny. And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, we're all friends again." He's like, "Yeah." And then he turns back around, and I look down, and like my fucking eyes zoomed in on his back pocket to the bag of peanuts. There's still fucking peanuts in this bag. We walked like 8 blocks, and there was
And he
still
just
with
kept
us.
throwing them. Like, he threw them at me like 5 times.
You threw some at my face. And they never ended. This bottomless peanut bag, man.
And I swear to God, I got up this morning and the fucking bag of peanuts was by the snacks we bought at the Walmart.
There's two more epilogues to the peanut story. Eventually when I still just had the bag of peanuts with peanuts in it, I started trying to get it in Andy's pockets. While we were walking, I was trying to put it in, I couldn't, and then he caught me at dinner trying to put it in there. And then when we came back home, I was gonna cook the pizza, and James was like, "All right, we'll make that pizza. We got some snacks." And I'm like, "Yeah, we got some snacks." And gave him the bag of peanuts.
They made it the whole trip home. I couldn't
Dude,
believe
the
it.
snack situation was pretty interesting at the Rumble because of how we were seated with the like fold up seats.
Yeah.
We're all packed directly next to each other. So it's like, I don't like being that close to people. Like, it was very like, I'm uncomfortable, but whatever, it's fine. I'm between Gia and Nick.
There should have been more
There's
aisles.
worse places I could have been, right?
Yeah, it was fine.
But we're so close to the people behind and in front of us as well. And there was this little girl, maybe like 6 or something in front of me. Super.
A lot of cute little girls in front of us.
they were
A lot of good daddy-daughter
singing
moments. I was like, "Oh my
along,
God, this is awesome."
Totally rad, totally into it. And I was like, I love that. But they hit a point where it's like, you're moving around just a little too much for my liking. And I was like, this is going to be an issue because they forced us to, if you buy a beer, they put it in these cups, but with no tops.
No top.
And I'm like, great. So I would like keep it down near my feet because that's the only place you can put it because there's no like.
That's the only personal space you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you have to ask me to hold it.
Yes, and I'm like, this sucks. And I just knew it was gonna fucking happen, but I kept like moving it whenever she would move.
By the way,
and she had a
all
hoodie.
like front row, all of them had jackets on. All the kids, instead of like hanging them over the thing, just kind of haphazardly
threw it on the thing.
They're kids.
And then it just fucking falls right on my beer that I just bought.
Gone.
And I'm like, oh no, if I move this even just a little the wrong way, the whole beer is gonna fall. So I was like, I went down to be like cool about it. The dad turns around and goes, my bad. Grabs it and just pulls it, and the beer just goes all over my shoes, all over. And I'm like, shit.
And then like 20 minutes later, the thing's right back where it fucking was before.
He gives me shit for it. And
What
I was
did he
just
say?
like, he was just like kind of like motioned at me as if like I knocked it off. And I'm like, because like I guess it looked like I was
Fucking
doing
whoop
some
his ass,
weird
dude.
shit with it, right? Well, that sucks. Whatever. I go and get another one. Put it down. Should have
No.
learned.
No, really?
Whatever. Put it down. But like, I was way more like paying attention to it.
So you're like $40 deep
At this point, I move. I take the sweater and I put it on the chair next to them. I'm like, it's not my problem. I don't care about this. Somehow it ends up back falls on the beer
God
again.
damn it, Tim.
And I was just like, God damn it. But this time I was like, I looked at G, I'm like, I'm doing this. And I went in and I pulled it up and I got it. I saved the beer. So everything was good.
Yeah. Cool.
But I put it on the other thing. Later, it falls and knocks over James's beer.
Oh, God
I was like,
damn
this
it.
fucking little girl,
so
man.
annoying.
Her stupid sweater.
You missed the point, and I didn't have the heart to tell you because I didn't catch it in time. Popcorn eventually arrived.
Okay, so that's even more shit because James and Gia had already got popcorn. I know Gia loves popcorn. I went up to get the beer refill that just fucking fell. And as I was doing that, I was like, I'm going to get Gia some popcorn. I'm sure she'll like it.
love
I texted her.
popcorn.
I'm like, do you want it? She didn't respond. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to get it. I'm sure she'll like it. I come down with this popcorn expecting her to be like, thank you. Instead, she goes, why'd you get more popcorn?
Because
I had gone and bought popcorn before you left. I had the helmet and you passed me.
well, I saw you had
Yeah.
it, but like that was
Again,
that's-
it was
this event was so long, it was hard to keep track of anything.
It was much like the peanuts, where it was a never-ending thing of popcorn. Where again, I gave it to Nick. I'm like, get it away from
I'm
me.
like, get it away from me. Kept passing it to Cool Greg. Cool Greg's like, no, I don't want it. Of course, we have to make Gia eat it.
Yeah.
Finally,
course we
there's
have
like
to.
the scraps left, and we're finally feeling like we're digging ourselves out of this popcorn hole.
And I walk in.
in perfect timing,
baseball hat.
Tim smiling, thinking he did a good thing. Was
I'm
like,
a
I
good
got more
boy,
popcorn,
Fred.
and all three of us were like, fuck.
so bad.
Don't
But
get the
then
popcorn.
She took it though, kept eating
Yeah.
it, put it down. At this point, I started eating because we were there for 72 hours.
Yeah.
And then, like 30 minutes later, this fucking little girl's cell phone just falls straight
Into the popcorn, yeah,
into
it's,
the
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how her cell phone fell behind her into the popcorn, but it did. And I think you still ate it
I
after
did.
that.
I did still fucking
You
eat
did.
it after that.
You did.
Meanwhile,
Fucking cell phone.
I feel your pain to an extent here because it was like, I think, I don't even know what beer, what match anymore. It's all a flat circle. But when I picked up the beer and it just had all these peanut shavings in it, I was like, just kept drinking. Now I was just drinking peanuts the
little
whole
salty
night. You know
now,
what I
a
mean?
little
Like
salty.
I was all about it.
Yeah, so we got there like at what, 3:30 around there, and so the pre-show took a while. The show didn't start until 5 Mountain Time or whatever, and
Arizona time.
By that point I'm already very, very tired. Like Arizona time. You're right. I'm very, very sleepy already, and I feel like around 7:30 ish, I'm like, oh, we're already at this point in the fight. We're making pretty good time. We'll be out of here by like 9 or whatever. And so me and Cool Greg hit a point where Cool Greg looks at me, and I was drinking like a Mountain Dew the whole time that I got at the beginning of the show, and he was like, "Do they have any energy drinks here?" Because he kept like,
Cool Greg partied. All right,
Yeah.
Cool Greg got there before us. Partied with the Hendersons nonstop.
Yeah.
he was partying.
yeah. So he was like, "Do they have any
Still there.
energy drinks here?" I was like, "No, they don't, man. They have like Mountain Dew." And he was like, "Fuck," or whatever. So then he left at the beginning of the AJ Styles,
Yeah, like everybody else.
Daniel Bryan match, like most people, like most smart people did. And he was gone for such a long time. All of y'all were.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave.
The bathroom line.
It was
I wanted-
literally like
yeah.
everyone was like, I don't care. This is a long pay-per-view. This is time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And everybody was in
And
those
that was
lines.
that was a good call, and I was about to as well, but it would have only been Gia sitting there because everybody else was gone. Like there was not one person besides me and Gia sitting in our row. And so I stayed there until like you all came back, but then I went to the restroom and then came back, and then Cool Greg still hadn't come back yet. And he finally comes back with like some like infused energy drink, and I was like, "Where'd you get that?" He's like, "Oh, way over there, like some different part of the ballpark that was like undiscovered land." And I was like, "Fuck, you went all the way over there," and I was like really worried, like, should I try to adventure over there? And so I did during the Brock fight, and that was the pick me up that I needed because it was like, it's just like apparently this really cool like energy coffee infusion place, and so they were like, "Oh yeah, you pick your energy drink and then you pick a flavoring you want with it." So I got Red
like
Bull.
Andy's fucking
I got Red
dream.
Bull with like passion fruit, and it was so fucking good, and it's what I needed to wake me up. And then the Rumble started, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is so tight." Yeah,
What did you? So this is your first
My
like
first wrestling
thing.
event, yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was awesome. Again, like too long, obviously, but I do think we could have skipped out on the pre-show. I agree with you, Tim. It was a lot more quiet than I thought it would be.
That's
Really
my problem.
Bizarre.
I'm not I love wrestling events. Don't get me wrong. I'm never a fan of them doing them in ballpark or
Outdoor
a
arenas,
giant
man.
stadium. Like
Or,
it's just
even
like
when it's like fake indoor.
wrestling
outdoor,
is
it's
so
like-
about that energy and that noise, and it was like there was very few, like when Becky won or even when she was getting ready to do stuff, like that was when there was huge pops and people were all
Kurt
about
Angle
it.
coming out.
Right,
That was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the loudest
Oh, you
Kurt
suck.
Angle
Yeah,
pop
that was everyone in the place
Yeah.
was chanting "You suck" there. But yeah, other than that, it was dead for a long time because it's just there's nowhere for that sound to go. There's too much
It
room.
was just the echo was fucking ridiculous. Where it was like the countdown. Anytime it was the Rumble, it was like 10, 9,
Yeah.
8. By the like, we would hear people chanting, and we would hear them say 3 as we're saying 4.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was just like, this it just isn't a
Yeah,
great.
the sound is just very bizarre. Where when they're when the women are fighting, they're so light that they're not hitting
Making
the
the mat
impact
noise,
on the
yeah,
mat, and so you're not hearing that at all, and it's just like silent while they're. And every once in a while, you hear like a yell here and there.
But like even the yells, like we were like only 6 or 7
Yeah, we were
rows
so
back,
close.
and the sound just went and died.
Yeah.
and that's the thing for me is like this is the same problem I have with UFC events where it's fun to be in the room, it's fun to feel the energy, especially during big fights, but it's not as good as an experience to actually spectate when you're at home. You're getting the commentary, you're getting the camera angles that are nice. Like
You get the storylines for
you get
wrestling
the
too, right?
storylines.
That was our
They,
thing.
like the job of the commentator is to explain sort of
What's going on
for the uninitiated, and you also get the entrances a little bit better because we couldn't see people.
Well, that was
coming
the
in.
biggest disappointment for me was that there was no stage for the Rumble. It was just
Yeah.
kind of went in the dugout, and we were like on the floor, equal footing. So it's like we couldn't even see people come out.
Yeah.
So we
I didn't
hear
see until they
music,
got in the ring.
and we would see on the big Titantrons that they were showing, because there was no stage. They were just playing their intro videos on it, whereas normally they would show the camera of
You would
them
see them
coming
run
out.
in, yeah.
So like music would hit, and we'd all be like, if we knew who it was, we were freaking out, but we still didn't see him for 5 minutes till they got to the
it
stage.
took a long time.
But then if we didn't know who it was, we'd be like waiting to see like what's going on, and like we wouldn't know. It was very, very bizarre.
Yeah, that was
like,
that was a poor choice on their account. Because
Yeah.
I was like, you have to imagine if we're pretty close. There's probably a select group of seats that actually can see what's going on with that. But like the rest of the people in the stadium, they're in the fucking nosebleed section. Like, why wouldn't they show the people on the runway coming in?
the thing is, like every time I went up to get beers or whatever, I was actually like, man, I almost wish we got like seats up, because then you actually see the run-in and you see everything, and then you get to watch the match on the big screen.
Yeah.
Which even when we're 5 feet away, we're still looking up the entire time.
I looked
My
up at the
neck
screen
still
the
hurts.
whole time because
to.
the
I had
people
a
in front of
little-
me were just taller. So I was like trying to look in between them, and for the most time, I was just looking up at the screen. But the
Well, it's also
I was
nice
gonna
because then
mention
you're
something
still
else
seeing
about
stuff on the other side. Like wrestling's such a dynamic thing. You're seeing the people go underneath the ring, hiding under there.
Yeah.
You can't see that shit.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
any.
But I mean, like,
It is about the noise and the experience of being around
being
it.
on the floor, right? Like that's
Yeah,
the thing
that's
of like,
cool as
what,
shit.
Oh,
and
it
it
was
was
awesome.
it was a great pay per view to be there because the Rumble itself,
Oh,
right,
man.
is
2 of
locked
them.
pretty much to the ring. Yeah, so I mean, like, there's fun ways to get around that. But
there was a moment where they recapped the prior fights, I guess like the pre-show
Yeah.
and a few of the other fights, and we saw the replays with commentary, with the fighters kind of being heard because of like their directional mics or whatever. And I looked at James, I was like, man, that was better than what we saw here, because like we could hear like, oh, and then you hear the fighter yell, and it's like it's actually audible.
You know what
you
it
know?
reminds me of? It reminds me of like when you shoot things and go, well, we have to add some sound effects to that later, but you're just looking at the raw footage without sound effects and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Totally, yeah.
I mean, it's the same with UFC, right? Well, like you're watching and you go ding, ding, ding.
And then just chattering around you. There's some talking. There's
he
Like
picked
that's
that
pretty
guy.
much all. And someone's like, "Yeah, kick his fucking ass," but you don't get the like 2 people in your ear like screaming like, "This is amazing." You're not right in their fucking face.
the comedians behind us with their expert commentary.
Hey, real talk.
They were
those
good.
guys
They
are
were
pretty
really
funny.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The wrestling smarks, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're out
I
there
was
doing
gonna
their
tell
thing.
them like I was, because I fell out of wrestling several years ago, and so I'm not really
After the
familiar.
incident, right?
The incident, yeah. I'm not really familiar with a lot of the people at all, right? I just aside, my friends from back home are huge fans, and then you and Cool Greg and even Greg like just mentioning here and there, and you
Yeah.
were wrestlers, so I have this sort of this knowledge that isn't. I can't even think of the word.
Current.
Yeah, I guess current. That works.
Sorry, that wasn't what you wanted. Fuck
No,
me, I
yeah.
guess.
So hearing them mention oh, what the fuck? There was that moment in the fucking in the AJ Styles match, I believe, where Bray Wyatt came out.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Bray
one of the
Wyatt.
Wyatt family guys. Yeah.
And there were people behind us going, this connection makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, why are they doing this? Like some people thought it was cool, but there were some people like, this doesn't make any sense. Like they've never been connected ever.
is their
Why are they
connection.
doing this?
This is
You
their
know?
connection now.
What's weird to me though is like I had growing up, I had my friend Scott. Scott was the guy that brought me to WrestleMania in Anaheim, in WrestleMania 2000. And so
Yeah.
he was like, look, his job in life was like, I'm going to get you into wrestling. It never unfortunately ended up happening, but I was always sort of around him, so I knew who a lot of the major players were that were happening. I think this was like during like the Triple H era, like
Time to play the game.
yeah, you know, like Big Show was still around, I think, and like this is when I saw. So it's interesting to me, like, to come back and literally know maybe 5% of the people that I saw. Like, you guys are like, oh, so and so's the favorite to win the Rumble. I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
There were
who that
moments
guy is.
in the
No
women's
idea who
Rumble
any of these
where
people are.
like
I
James
know
and
more of the
Cool Guy were
divas.
like, I don't know who that is.
Well, so like here's the thing that they did this year that like some people like, some people don't like, but there wasn't many like old school legend returns. It was very much focused on NXT.
Yeah, a lot of NXT people
which
came
is
in,
their
yeah.
kind of like
Farm league.
Their farm league, yeah, and it's like they televise that stuff now. But like even James doesn't know that shit. Like he doesn't know them. But it's like
Everybody always, I was telling you, I want to go to NXT if next time we do one of these, actually go, because like we got in too late on Saturday to make it work for then. When I did Survivor Series, it was too, like it's like a thing of, I know it's a lot of wrestling, but like NXT, I always hear is like the
people
shit.
love it. It's like it's kind of the thing where it's like
Watching the
that's
next
where-
big thing.
exactly, and
they're
they try
trying.
extra hard. Like they have gimmicks, they have like fun music and stuff that like the other guys don't. But I think that like for you, I'm not into it. Like I know it seems like I am compared to everyone else, but it's like I'd say not until the last couple months where I actually know who these people are. But that's because we've been going to things, and like I just started following things on Reddit, and it's like it's such a weird shift where wrestling is now on the internet. Like growing up, when my brother was first watching it, it was just like you watch the shows and like you don't know what's gonna happen, and people aren't constantly talking. There's forums and shit, but it's like now it's like every single thing that happens is on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on social media. So it's like there's this conversation that if you just follow a couple things, you'll kind of get
It's
an
hard to
idea
get away from it,
of who the people are.
Well, plus
You
they
know?
have a ton of ancillary content, right? Like there's that service you were talking about where like
network.
yeah, they got to do all this other. Like,
I'm coming back.
I mean, I'm in love with
Got it.
Becky Lynch. She's my
She's
favorite.
amazing.
Oh, she's
that's the
awesome,
thing,
yeah.
it's like, dude, you watched last night, and then you're like, there was multiple people that you're like, fuck, I'm a fan of them
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's like that's how easy it is to get back into wrestling.
Yeah, a lot of the women in the Rumble, like especially NXT women, I was like, oh,
my
you're
God,
fucking
what's her
amazing.
name?
The Candice, she was real small,
with
and she did all
Gia?
like the gymnast
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, she was awesome.
when we kept saying-
Casey.
Look it up.
I followed her.
While you look it up, let's hear about our sponsors. Are we doing the new sponsors the new way, Tim? Is that how we're doing it from now on?
Yeah.
We're doing it from Nuance. So there it is. So the show continues on like this, no problem. You're looking it up. Get me her name, and then we need to focus, Tim.
Yes.
On the Kind of Funny World Tour portion of this.
Okay.
All right, because that's what brought us, of course, to Arizona. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, during the month of January, we've been fundraising for Kind of Funny's future. You funded on that there thermometer the Kind of Funny World Tour, sending us to Arizona, Kansas City, New York, Vancouver. So am I forgetting one?
Maybe London.
San
Yeah,
Francisco.
maybe San Francisco. Yeah, there's a San Francisco meet and greet happening too. Meet and greets where we're coming just to hang out with you and do cool stuff. That's what we did at Portillo's on Sunday in Arizona. Did you get her name?
Casey Catanzaro.
Gotcha.
KACYCATANZARO.
Yeah,
she was
she
awesome.
is fucking awesome. Like totally killed. And that was like kind of her debut on a big stage.
Yeah.
She's NXT, and even then she's NXT like kind of just small time. But we know her because she's the first ever woman to do the American Ninja Warrior.
Oh wow.
Like,
Oh.
that video that went super viral, like that's her.
She's fucking.
Oh,
good.
nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know her for that. I just knew her
4'11".
because she's awesome on doing that.
Yeah, she's tiny.
So we went to Arizona to do the Kind of Funny World Tour. We went to Portillo's in Tempe. Thank you so much, Portillo's in Tempe. Very,
my
very.
God.
They were awesome. Number one in terms of when we reached out early, we got a connection. Thanks so much,
Nick
Nick Scarpino.
Scarpino.
Real Nick Scarpino, not underscore. Fake Nick Scarpino. We got a connection there. That connection was there. Talked to us. The manager was super nice. The Janine was super nice. They had set aside a giant section of it for it that we of course bled over. Thank you to everybody in Arizona, all the best friends who came out because that was insane.
Yeah.
We had a conversation of like, what are you expecting, like numbers wise, right? And I think I was like 75, and we must have had 200 plus throughout the day.
Okay, so I was late, right? Me and Andy
poop.
had to go.
You had to poop.
We had to poop. We had to get Andy a sweatshirt. We had to get Sharpies as well. More importantly, we walk in at 11:15, and I opened the door, and the entire restaurant stopped and turned and looked at me like the scene at the end of John Wick 2. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, I'm like the. Like I actually thought I like walked in the fire a lot, like the fire exit or something. Like everyone, and then everyone went. Ah! And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, this is amazing. And there was like 4 or 5 people that were just mystified by what was happening the entire time. They were all in their 90s. Very
Yeah, I loved it. Man.
We
It was
went.
so
It
funny.
turns out we went during the kids and old person hour.
Well, we went
which
when
is
they opened, yeah.
my specialty.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when I normally go. But it was
Get
it
a
was
fillet
really
of
fun.
fish and a cup of coffee.
Walking into meet and greets is always so interesting and fun for me because it's like I 99% of the time I'm with you when we do
yeah.
it. And I kind of wait for you to like do the whole welcome thing,
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
follow your cues. But it's funny because there's always that awkward moment of waiting for you to do that, but then also people just like screaming and making noise, and it's so uncomfortably awkward. It's like I'm never gonna be comfortable with it.
No, it's weird.
You
gotta
know,
embrace
it's cool
it. You
as
gotta
fuck,
live
but
it,
it's
man.
like,
Live
it's-
it.
It's a very interesting and strange feeling walking into a room largely full of people you've not met before and having all of them know very intimate
about
things about your life. But it was fun. And I think the thing that my big takeaway was there was a couple groups that came out from Vegas. And I was like, oh God, you guys drove from Vegas. How long was that? They're like, oh, it was only like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. But they were like, but it was cool because we would not have been able to really get to California to see you guys. But the fact that you were somewhere close to us, we were like, we got to go. And I'm like, cool, because that was the point of this. The whole point was like, we're going to go to places that we don't normally go to in hopes that the surrounding areas, people will come in and see each other. And then other people were like, oh, it's really cool. I made some friends today. I was like, that's
point.
what always happens.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome. Because like there was one kid I walked in, I was like, do you know anyone here? And he's like, no. I'm like, just wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
just
give
wait.
it 2
There was
hours. Hang out.
I mean, that obviously I heard that story echoed over and over again. And so many people came up as groups of like, oh, can you take? I just met them today. Like, and that's what always happens in a meet and greet. But like, I was asking, and I think I'm gonna do it. I want to make a video for meet and greets, period. But for right now with this showcase or world tour, because of the fact that so many times when we get ready for a meet and greet, there's always those posts on the Reddit of like, hey, I've never been before. I'm nervous. Should I come? Should I not come? I want to do a video that's like basically like 2 minutes of like FAQ of like, bring your stuff to get signed. Do this. Make noise when we come in. Like when you talk to everybody, because it's the same thing I say in the Kind of Funny Live letter we used to send out, right? Of just like, look to your left and look to your right. Those people are there for the same reasons. So if you're there alone, you can easily walk. And I saw it so many times. People walk in and be like, can I sit here? I'm like, yeah, fucking sit down. And then you start talking about games. You start talking about Kind of Funny.
That's the thing, is talk about anything that you like. Someone else is probably gonna like it. And let me tell you, if you're a fucking Kind of Funny fan and you were at one of these meet and greets, bring up Kingdom Hearts. Everyone's going to want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Every single person rubbed it in. Like, Tim, have you been playing? No. They didn't send me a fucking code. God damn it.
You're a fake fan. You're a fake fan.
I didn't get that. I just got a lot of like, I can't fucking get Connect Between 3 and 5 out of my head.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to think that I wrote that song on my own. No. That's the Connect 4 theme song. The whole point of it was like, we don't want to get sued by Connect 4. So let's change up the words. A lot of people didn't know. Oh, yeah, that's right. We can't mention it.
It's a wholly original song.
Can't mention it.
Another big takeaway was a lot of people were like, hey, I really like what Andy does on KFAF to me, which was insulting.
Oh, they only mentioned me? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they just kept bringing your name up. I'm like, if you like him so much, go stand in his line that's longer than mine. And everyone's like, people kept saying, why is Andy's line longer than yours? And I was like, because he talks more. Okay, I'm more efficient. I'm older, and thus I have more experience. I'm more efficient at getting through the line. That's
He
why.
kept saying that I talk more. Andy talks more. It's like that's the biggest lie on the planet. Have you ever watched an in review?
You talk about that, Nick. At what point did you decide to start actioning your item, your line against me?
Oh,
because
well,
there'd be at first it was every oh man, every 10 minutes, and then it became like every other person. Nick would be like, hey Greg, champ. I'm like, all right, cool. Why is this happening?
That happened to me too.
A lot of
Yeah,
people asked,
he was like, Andy, a lot of people say I'm way cooler than you.
Yeah. Well, they were. No, what happened was someone was like, hey, can you just put the 2 up? And I was like, for what? And they're like, for champ. I was like, oh, that's genius. Yeah. So it was the couple came up. I forgot their names. But I just went like
champ
this, and they
yeah.
went like this. And I was like, oh, that's dope. Champ. And then I was like, got to rub it in Greg's face. Champ. Right? That's what happened. And then it just became a funny thing. Because here's number one thing I get is people walk up to me and go, hey, you're actually not as short as I thought you were going to be. And I go, no, those goons are freakishly tall. They're mutants. They're monsters. They have to be taken off this planet immediately.
Yeah,
right? And then we make a fun
eradicate
thing about that. And there was that one guy that was like taller than you. I was like, I got to fucking run.
There was a couple guys that were talking to me. I was like, damn,
then there
I
was
was like
the
doing that thing. And I was like, yeah, fuck, I did not.
Nate with the Queen Latifah.
Yes.
I was just about to say,
Fucking great.
The star of the fucking meet and greet to me
Was it Nate?
this
I think it was Nate.
Andy?
No.
I want to say it was like Andrew or maybe someone else.
Fuck, I thought it was Nate.
I meant to
He
tag
posted
him, but
on
I
the
didn't
Reddit.
post it.
Yeah, I'm going.
Matt? No,
I
fuck.
think it was
All right,
Andy.
well, stop
Andrew.
blindly guessing.
Anyway,
Steven?
Joe, Robert. I fucking loved him so much because he came up to me. He was just like, hey, man, like, I didn't have anything for you to sign. So I looked around my house and, are you cool to sign this? And he turns around and it's a picture of Queen Latifah.
Here it is.
But it's not like a headshot of Queen Latifah.
It's
taken
just
from like a
already-
random
I'm sending it
press
to
line
Barry
somewhere.
right now. Barry, you want it? I'm sending it in your Slack or Control.
But I was the
send
first
it
one
to
to sign it, and I was
Control.
just like, wait, like, okay, first off, I love you. Second off, okay, you didn't have anything for us to sign. Third off, you just found something lying around, which was a Queen Latifah picture.
Yeah. Nice picture, by
You
the
don't
way,
have
like a glossy.
And it's just great that it's like Queen Latifah has absolutely no connection to
Oh,
California.
Andrew.
She is
yeah.
literally on a press junket for like some clothing line or something, and
Throw it
wasn't
up, Barrett.
not even looking at the camera in this picture. That's what's great about that.
Throw it up, Barrett.
Now I got this.
I drew the King K roll.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that was good.
Crown.
I got this
Good.
picture, and it was even funnier because it was just I got it second. And it was just the picture of Queen Latifah and a little Tim with a heart right above it. And I was like, I can't. I was like so tired. I was like, I can't explain to you how funny this is.
so
It's
funny.
so fucking funny. He was like, when you sign this, I was like, I would be honored to sign
Yeah.
this. This is fucking.
Nah, that was
hilarious.
great.
Is
I
that
love it.
Paula's signature there below Kevin?
I like that Gia signed it too. Yeah, that's Paula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like it says it's got P in it.
Couldn't find Cool Greg apparently.
No, cool. I thought Cool Greg drew the crown.
No,
he
I
just
drew
said he
it.
did.
Great job, Andrew.
No, and
That's really
That
funny.
gave us-
Andrew,
gave
yeah.
us a good
I took a
laugh.
photo of it, and he's like, "Yeah, no, Nick took a photo too." I'm like, "Well, it's a brilliant idea, so
Yeah.
that's what's
Nah,
happening."
that was
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
So good.
And the best thing is like he was hella chill.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like not laughing, not thinking it was funny. You
Yeah.
know, he was just like, "Hey, can you sign? It was something I had."
I like that. I like
100%
that.
certain that he showed up to the meet and greet just to do that and get a laugh out of us, and then just bounced after that.
He was there the
'Cause
whole time.
Was he there the whole
Yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah.
Because he was like, he was just.
Oh, yeah, he was there all
funny.
the time.
It was
Did you
really
tell the
funny.
story yet about the person who showed up randomly?
Oh, the people that didn't know what was happening.
Oh no! So this is, I think it was, I thought on Instagram again, whatever. But like, there's a couple of best friends who came for the Rumble. Googled it, found out there was a Portillo's there. Like, we have to go to Portillo's. Greg always talks about it. On the way to the Portillo's, watched the YouTube video about what to order. Walked into the Portillo's, grabbed a random person, like, what is going on? And they're like, Kind of Funny's here. And the guy's like, what the fuck, really? And
No way.
Totally by happenstance. He was just like, hey, he got in the line. He's like, hey, this is like the weirdest thing in the world. I'm like, what is going on? He explained all this. I'm like, shit, dude. Yeah,
That's
that does not happen. That is insane.
That was some of the cool things too. Is I like hearing those stories of people that were just lined up for them. Like there was a guy who was there for a job interview, and he was like, we drove in, and he's like, I had this planned, and then you guys announced that it just happened to be perfect. Like we just came a day early, and I ended up doing that. And then as I was leaving, someone else was like, he was there with his family and was like, we're visiting family this weekend, and I saw this, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go. And I'm like, did you have the shirt? He's like, yeah, I had the shirt and everything. I just threw the shirt on and came over. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
That's great, man.
Yeah, when
It
there
a
was
great
a
time.
guy walked in with I forget your name, but he had the baby in the bassinet, and he's like, I'm on dad duty today, so I can't stay. I just wanted to say hey. I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, he was very nice. He came over and said, "What's up?"
Yeah, because I remember meeting him at PSX several years ago, like 2-3 years ago,
Okay.
maybe. And I recognized him, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Give me your name again." He's like, "Xavier." I was like, "Ramos, right?" He's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I got a kid now." And he's like, "Oh man, it's just gaming is not easy
Yeah, he was
anymore."
talking about it. He had like the bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, I just don't get to play anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's worth it though. He's like, yeah.
One of the coolest dudes I met was I forgot his name, but he was blinding over the last couple
Oh, yeah,
years.
yeah. I talked to him for a long
and
time.
then he only has 5% of his vision left, and he was just talking about how hard it is to still play games. Where
He's making
just
his way
like-
through
he's
God of
like,
War.
I'm making it through. It's just really hard. I have to go real slow and stuff. But like he was talking about that, and I think he was there with his daughter that was helping him out or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh no, those were random best friends.
no shit.
Yeah, totally.
No way, really?
Yeah, I was talking to them when he walked in, and then I moved to another table, and then they helped him, and then they came up to my line and like, we have to go, but heads up, there's this guy down there. And I was like, I saw him. Was he with us? I wasn't here. Well, he had a Mass Effect shirt. I knew that. And like, yeah, I'm like, what's his name? And like, ooh, I can't help it.
Really?
We've been talking too long,
Oh my
and they
God.
bounced, and then he got in line, and he was great.
Yeah, because she grabbed me and it was just like, hey, like, was giving me the situation.
Yeah.
I went and talked to him, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he was just like, oh my God, it's Tim Gettys. He's just like, I've heard your voice so much. This is awesome. And then he was like, is everyone else here? And I'm like, they're here. They're not like right here though.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. Like,
Yeah,
very
no,
cool
it was.
shit.
I mean, it
Shout
was
out,
fantastic.
shout out to Matt with the adorable daughters, that beautiful
my God,
family.
yeah.
And they were just so cute, and they had questions queued up for, I guess, every one of us.
Everyone, man, it was like, the little girl was just like, do you like PSVR? And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like, what's your favorite game? And I was like, I probably like Beat Saber. She goes, oh, I love Beat Saber.
Yeah.
And she's like, my favorite song is Before You or something like that. Break. It started with B. I
Okay.
don't know. She said it, and I was just like, this is the best conversation.
Yeah,
this girl's like 4 years old.
I didn't know that they
Weird
like
that he kept them away from me. I didn't have an interaction with him at all.
I didn't know that they were even like familiar with us, right? I thought that, you know, hey, this is my family, but like I'm the fan. My name is Matt or whatever.
Osmosis. They hear it through
And,
the
and then they were like, go ahead and ask your questions. And I was like, oh, they like, because I wasn't too sure whether to like, you know,
engage
I don't
with
want to be
them,
like,
yeah.
hey, what's up, and then be like, I don't know who this guy
My
is.
dad
or whatever.
dragged me here.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a chocolate cake shake out of it, but
Yeah,
I'm
and they
here.
were like, yeah, and the little girl was like, who's your favorite Overwatch character? I was like, oh my God, you're so cute. I was like, I play Zenyatta and I love it. She was like, oh, me and my sister play Diva. And it's just so adorable.
That's one of my favorite things about the fact that how the best friends have aged with me is that we're to this point now where meet and greets are such a family affair,
people having
and I
kids.
keep meeting cute, adorable kids at Portillo's.
So
like
funny.
they all come like, oh my God,
There
you're
was
all awesome.
one of the guys. It might have been the same guy we're talking about, but his daughter was named after a character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I was like, yeah, Sloan.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like, oh, this is my daughter Sloan. And I was like, oh, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's like, yeah, I named her after the character. I was like, oh, we're all old. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I was like, and he was like, yeah, I have a son too. I was like, and he goes, no, I didn't name him Ferris. I was like, Cameron maybe would have been fine, but Ferris is a little hard.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry for cussing and saying bad words all the time because
She's like, I don't fucking care.
No, I was like, yeah, my nieces, you know, tell me the same thing. They're like, Uncle Andy says a lot of bad words. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry.
You're right, I do, motherfucker.
Sorry.
No, it was awesome. I mean, as all meet and greets always are. But I mean, in terms of the world tour, right? I think that's the thing. And I know it sounds weird probably to just best friends watching, but like usually it's me, maybe me plus someone, Nick on his own in London. You know what I mean? When this happens. So to have like the crew there or
Yeah.
a partial crew, obviously Barrett couldn't make it because he just does not
You
like
didn't
us.
want to go, yeah.
I
he
wasn't invited.
just didn't want to come.
I just
you know what
expected
I
him
mean?
to keep like I would turn a corner, no Barrett.
I thought it was like he was going to surprise us.
Yeah,
I thought it was like he's like I really like the job, so I'm
building
going to
up
fly
the
myself down
suspension.
here. I understand
Yeah.
you guys.
I
This
was
a
never
test.
offered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was a test.
failed the first test. Yeah.
Sure, exactly. But no, it was so great to have everyone there and have that energy and have that excitement, and then have again, it worked. The idea was let's go to places we don't go to normally, and then hey, we can have people that don't get to see us normally.
It was 99% new faces that I've never talked
Yeah.
to before, which was
Yeah.
really cool. Because
And
a lot of times we go to meet and greets and there's a big contingent of the same people,
totally.
which is also awesome.
Yeah.
But
I've definitely. I think I need to stop doing. It was my worst ever average of like we've met before, right? No, fuck, Jesus,
yeah, that happened to
really?
me too.
I'm usually so good, and then I was missing it. I got timid, so I wasn't doing it to other people. Like, no, we've met. We're like, fuck, God, I've been saying this all the wrong
I
people.
did meet several people that like with the Twitch name stuff that I
Sure.
love. I love
Yeah,
recognizing the Twitch and Twitter names.
I love when they tell you. That's
yeah,
the best
yeah.
part.
yeah.
So I met like, hey, I'm so and so. I was like, oh, okay, we met before. And he's like, no, but I am like at the arcade. I met
Hip Albatross
I made
was
Turn
there.
to Ray.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hip Albatross. Fucking yeah. There's I think there was like 5 of them, and I kept
Xavier
asking.
Woods, PhD.
I kept asking several of them, hey guys, what's your Twitch or Twitter name? And they'd be like, oh, I just kind of lurk. And I was like, motherfucker, stop lurking. Just say hi and just, give us compliments.
Kevin Quella, jump on the mic.
I was gonna say one of my favorite things I've ever like seen at a meet and greet. I think it was Paulogy had like a button that he had made that was his like the little
Oh yeah.
the little thumbnail you can add. And
Oh,
on Twitter,
right.
the default picture.
It was his face, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, oh shit, that made it
Brilliant
even
idea.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, really smart. Well, I think that was an inside joke at one point because they.
I called the mouth guy
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
He was the mouth guy or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, that's what he was. That's what he wanted to be. Now he's
In our FAQ video we make, we should.
I mean, if we really want to go, what we should do is, I mean, I know this to understand, we'd have to plan a little bit. But if we could make custom name tags that have like the smiley and like, hello, my name is, my username
just
is.
download the
just bring
link and
name
add your
tags.
picture.
Yeah, well, I know, but we can make it look cool like us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Why start now?
Well, all right. Well, I mean, like, it's the World Tour. The World Tour is great. Arizona, you said the bar incredibly high. Thank you all for being such awesome best friends and coming out and hanging out and having conversations with us. Thank you for putting up with, in quotes. I know you don't care because, again, the secret of the meet and greet is you think you're there to meet us. You're actually meeting each other and having fun with each other.
Exactly.
But like, it always blows my mind and humbles me so much that we have these giant lines, and especially when we get down to the end where it's like, we are already late. We have to go quickly, and I know you've been waiting in line for a while, but nobody's ever pissed off about it.
Yeah,
They
no,
get it. They
totally.
understand it.
I was doing the groups. I was like, hey, everybody just come shuffle in. Let's talk in a big circle. And then it was just like kind of like a little group conversation.
Sure.
And I felt like that was like fairly efficient.
Well, from what I saw, it was less of a conversation, and people were just paying you compliments, and you were just trying to be like, "Oh, shucks, it's not me."
like that.
Jimmy
I mean-
Jillikers, guys.
No, I got a lot of people saying, dude, I love Cave. And I kept saying, dude, go thank Tim for that. Because
Some motherfuckers didn't want to do
I
it.
tried to quit on that show many times.
So many people told me that.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, I was trying to quit.
Yeah, I
It's
just
like,
didn't
you
want to do it.
motherfucker.
Didn't want to do it. So yeah, But also, there were several people that were just like, "Thank you for coming out here." Like, I would have never expected this.
That's the point. So many people were like, "I don't have the means to ever travel to California or one of the things," and like, that's why it's this in Kansas City and Vancouver.
And next up, San Francisco. You never expect it. February 17th.
Yeah, San Francisco is like not the one exception, but it's like, hey, yeah, like
we're here. We're gonna.
Of course, we're gonna do our own. It's easy for that. But
day
when
after
is it?
my birthday,
February 17th.
February 17th.
All right, cool. That's all the details we've announced for it.
So far, yes.
Just making sure.
By the time of this, on the Wednesday stream, we're planning to announce a lot more details. That everything that we have so far for all the World Tour spots.
Okay.
We definitely have dates for everything, and venues are 90% locked.
Perfect.
Need to talk to Joey though.
Of course, yeah. Lots coming
Wednesday,
together.
The stream, it'll be cool.
But World Tour has been great. Remember, come out, see us throughout this first half of the year because that's how we're doing it. Use the hashtag Kinda Funny World Tour. Don't listen to Andy and do KF World Tour. That's not.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I mean, it's just
have to look at what I think. It's like you muted me because I've done it a lot. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just going for a
Kinda
fish
funny
tank.
account.
Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares about
Who's
fish?
talking over
who's
there?
gonna-
I don't understand.
Just
Who
going
is
for a
he?
fish.
Oh,
tank.
that's Barrett Courtney. You wouldn't know he works here because he refused to step up to the plate. You know what I mean?
wasn't
Anyway,
invited.
good show.
I didn't want to invite you. I wanted you to want to be invited, and you
Yeah.
show up there, and I look you in the eyes when you walk into Portillo's, and I'm like, you came here on your own dime. You paid for your own hotel room. You're gonna buy us stuff with your own money.
You can't put
Motherfucker, I got
50 in my
bills.
pocket.
Buy me
Put 50 in
Legos,
my
you
pocket.
fucking idiot.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends gather on this table, each coming to want to talk about whatever they want to talk about. Usually just our lives and what's been happening and the food that Nick dropped on his.
I still got mustard in my case. I gotta clean that out. You see it? Look at there, it's in there. Gross.
That's a real story. If you like the show, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can ask us questions at the bronze tier. You can get the show early at the silver tier. You can get pre and post shows. No post show today because we have to do Kinda Funny Games daily, like right now.
Literally
Right now.
Yeah, I know.
Flip the set.
What do you mean? You take down 2 mics. Fuck you, Barrett. God, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't want to give us any money, Friday, youtube.com/kindafunny, podcast services around the globe.
Fucking strike 2, dude.
We love and appreciate you. Until
you
next
miss us?
time,
What?
Did you
if
miss
you
us?
think you could do Barrett's job
No.
better than him, tweet resumes at Joey.
Oh, trust me, I've gotten a lot of those comments.
We love you. Bye.